My beloved child, stop for a moment and just breathe. This isn't a coincidence that you are hearing this right now. This message has been prepared in love specifically for the unique need you are carrying in your heart today. There is relief here for your anxious breathing and shade that seems to offend you in the hidden places of your life. I want you to know right now that you are not stumbling into this day alone. My presence is steadying you. I am unseen, yes, but I am very real, as close to you as the air currently filling your lungs. Take one slow, deep breath now. Inhale, fully hold for a moment and release. Let that first breath you take bear reminder that my mercies arrive new with every single dawn. The troubles you carried through the night, tossing and turning, are not too heavy for me to handle. Is the every burden, is the every care you have for your family, the silent hopes you haven't spoken out loud, and the tears you didn't let fall. I have not overlooked you, and I certainly haven't overlooked the people you love. My gaze on you is gentle, patient, and full of understanding. Even now, as your eye set a face of the day, picture my hand resting up on your shoulder, a steadying touch, promising guidance and calm for the path ahead. You may be wondering what this day will bring, or perhaps you fear that some doors are going to remain closed. Despite all your best efforts, I want you to look beyond the barriers that seem immovable. Is every unseen labor, every act of kindness you gave when none acknowledged you? Nothing escapes me. I am working in places where you cannot see, preparing moments of strength, peace, and direction. Do not measure your future by what appeared unmoving yesterday. Instead, fix your thoughts on my faithful presence, meeting you step by step. Take a slow breath. Notice how your heart lifts, even just a little, when you acknowledge gratitude. Pause and name one thing out loud or in your mind that you're thankful for right now. Start by naming one thing, however small, where you sense my goodness. Perhaps it is the warmth seeping through your window, the laughter of a child, or simply the steady beat of your own heart. Gratitude awakens your spirit to what you already have. Pushing aside at the shadow of lack, it is here in simple thankfulness that you find you are already being cared for, more deeply than you realized. You might feel a tension between moving forward and waiting on my timing. Sometimes your eagerness becomes frustration and the urge to hurry outpaces your trust in me. My child, you are safe in their rhythm I have set for you. Each season, both the busy ones and the quiet ones, carries meaning. Trust that what seems delayed is not a denial. I am growing something deep in you, shaping your patience, preparing you to carry grief. A responsibility and greater joy waiting with me is never time wasted. If anxiety rises and your mind starts racing ahead to tomorrow, tenderly return your focus to this moment with me. Place your hand over your heart now and feel its steady beat. Let that be an anchor for the rest of your day. Notice its steady beat. This life and breath are evidence that I am sustaining you. In your stillness, you become aware that you are held not just by chance, but by my deliberate love. Even when answers seem far off, even if your thoughts swirl with uncertainty, why I remain the source of your peace. Breathe again, dear one. You are anchored in me. Sometimes you sense the weight of responsibility for your family. You long to protect, provide, or see change in those you love. Know that every silent prayer you whisper for them is around your household with my kindness, drawing each heart in ways you cannot always understand. Release the pressure to fix every detail yourself. Trust me to work both in your heart and in theirs. I am the one who transforms, gently leading, always watchful. Rest in my care for those you hold dear. There may be moments when you feel unseen or overlooked, as if your efforts go unnoticed by the world. But right now, I am reminding you, I notice every act of service, each sacrifice made in secret is precious to me. Nothing slips past my attention. These seeds you have planted in love and faithfulness will bear fruit in due time. When discouragement whispers that nothing changes, hold tight to my promise. I am growing your character, shaping your destiny, and standing guard over every part of your life. If you're holding on to dreams that feel impossible, lay them before me without fear. Dothus now whisper that dream or write it down on a slip of paper and place it somewhere visible. I ho, north the desires a planted in your spirit long ago. There are places you itch to see transformation, and you may wonder when or how it will happen. Trust my process. I am bringing about change, sometimes in hidden ways that only become clear after much waiting. Your surrender is the soil where new possibilities take root. I celebrate your willingness to release control, knowing that my wisdom is shaping a better outcome than you imagined. Let your soul settle. I do not trust you, nor am I disappointed by your struggles. Every moment you draw near, I am delighted. My patience far exceeds your doubts or detours. Invite you to meet me in the quiet corners, the morning light in your room, the gentle stillness before the world fully stirs. There is soothe your fears and renew your strength. I am not a distant force, but your closest companion, walking with you through every ordinary and extraordinary moment. You may feel pressure from what others expect of you or from your own longing to do everything right. Lean into my grace. I did not call yet to achieve perfection, but to walk with me daily, learning as you go. When mistakes come, receive my forgiveness freely. Guilt doesn't have the final word over your story. Instead, my lover defines your future. You are becoming, through every season, the person I always saw in you. If your heart aches for clarity, wondering which direction to take, sit quietly with me. Do not rush to conclusions. My guidance is gentle, steady, and often arrives as a quiet conviction, rather than a roaring command. Attune your ear to the soft stirrings within. I delight in leading you step by step, illuminating just enough of your path, so that you will trust me for the next part. You are not lost, you are led. The impatience you sometimes feel when plans unravel is not a failure. It is an invitation to rely more deeply on me. I am the one who can transform setbacks into unexpected blessings, who can bring light from confusion and hope from disappointment. Surrender your failed plans and trust me to bring beauty even from ashes. My timing never falters. When you release your grip, you discover freedom. There will be opportunities today to serve someone else with kindness. These moments may seem small, but they contain profound purpose. Each act of generosity, each word spoken in hope, carries ripples beyond what you know. Let compassion guide your actions, even if recognition does not come. You are me vessel sent to reflect my heart wherever you go. Before you leave this moment, decide one small act of kindness you will do today. Say it aloud or jot it so you won't forget. Pause now. Breathe. Know that I have always been near. You are seen, loved, guided, and made new every morning. This is just the beginning. There is much more to uncover together. Trust me when your senses falter, beloved. You glance at the path ahead and the shadows seem to swell, but I don't abandon you to walk alone. My gaze traces every contour of your steps, and my understanding pierces every question beneath your doubt. If you find solace fleeting and anxiety persistent, let your soul draw near me. I welcome your quiet sighs and your wordless prayers, for I search your heart's depths. Even before you can shape them in a speech, stand are waiting to be convinced of your worth. It is my very presence that gives you purpose and dignity. Even in your most anxious unrest, you remain precious to me. Your flaws do not repel me, nor do your fears dim me delight in you. I see you as you are, and I love you. Come to me without pretense, hold nothing back. You do not need to dress your wounds before approaching me. When you try to shield yourself with pride or cover your hardness with empty bravado, you only add to your own burdens. I invite you to lay aside every mask, so that my peace can flow freely to you. When tears come, I don't recoil. When anger rises, I am not threatened. I receive your honesty, for it's the soil in which my grace takes root and grows vibrant. I am always gentle with your struggle, and I rejoice when you trust me with your struggle instead of hiding it. If you wonder why I sometimes feel distant, know this: my love has not shifted or faded. Creation aches under brokenness, and the world's pain candle your spiritual senses. Yet precisely in your loneliness, as you call out from your searching, I am closer than you perceive. I whisper hope when discouragement surrounds you. I walk with you where others dare not tread. My spirit rests upon you, steady and faithful, even when your motions lag behind. Do not mistake the silence for absence, nor trouble for my displeasure. Shape your life through moments of both close. Innocent mystery, teaching you to trust, not only in what you can see or feel, but in who I am. There are facets of your story you cannot yet see. I have seen every sorrow you have faced and every joy you have celebrated. I have watched your dreams take shape and then at times wither. I care about all that matters to you. I gather your disappointments and your hopes alike. Nothing is wasted with me, not the days you consider failures, not the wounds you wish could disappear. In my eyes, your journey is sacred. I can redeem the chapters you wish had been differ, and those secret places of shame and regret, bring them to me. Nothing you confess will cause me to turn away. I long to show you that I am bigger than your past, and that growth and healing are possible for you. Your burdens are not too heavy for me. Many of my children have believed at times that their struggles disqualify them from intimacy with me. That is Ellie that weighs like a stone on the soul. Let me lift it from you. Weakness is not grounds for rejection, but an invitation to experience my sufficiency. I do not measure you by your productivity, but by your op. And as to my love, when fatigue or disappointment tempers your zeal, you still belong to me. Rest in the knowledge that I do not grow weary of you. Even when you lose enthusiasm or struggle with forgiveness, I pour my mercy over you anew. I am patient as you learn, heal, and change. My faithfulness does not depend on your performance. Let yourself be nourished by my words when my promises seem slow to unfold. Trust that I am not indifferent to your desires. What you call waiting, I call preparation. I am not careless with your time. I am attentive to every season of your life. Sometimes you seek quick relief, but I offer lasting transformation. I encourage you to be gentle with yourself, as I am gentle with you. If you stumble or lose direction, I do not grow impatient. I restore, I lead you beside quiet waters again and again. When you cannot see the way forward, let my voice be your guide. Lean your hope into me, for I am unwavering. You are not forgotten or overlooked. Even when the noise of the world drowns out your sense of belonging, I know you by name. I heard the hushed prayers that never reach another ears. Your hopes matter to me as intimately as your tears. I do not compare you with others or demand that you earn my care. My love finds you precisely where you are. And nothing can drive you away from my affection, not your failings, not others. Criticisms, not the shadows of your own self-doubt. Every day I invite you to let my love anchor you and teach you how to live with courage. When you are afraid, remember that I am your refuge. I have carried the burden of your pain and know every reason you tremble. I do not shame you for your fears. I hold you more tenderly in those moments. Let your fear become another place to meet with me, a place where I can wrap you in assurance. I do not abandon you when you falter. I hold you even closer, and my strength becomes yours, not all at once, but gently in ways suited to your need. Bring even your smallest hopes to him, and let me fill them with promise. As you open each new day, do not measure its worth by your accomplishments. My delight in you is constant. You do not need to strive for my approval or outrun your weaknesses. I am already present, inviting you simply to receive what I offer. Be patient with your unfolding. Trust that I remain at work within you, nurturing growth and wholeness. Let peace, not striving, fill the chambers of your heart. Draw near, receive the abundance I desire to give, and find rest there in my unwaver. In embrace, you have walked so many miles, heart bent beneath burdens too heavy to speak aloud. Yet your longing for hope has never been hidden from me. Is each step, each falter and rise, each quiet courage that sparks in the silence of your soul. My gaze holds you from your first breath to this moment. No struggle or sorrow escapes my knowing. Do not think yourself small in my sight. You are my beloved, kindled by my own breath. Even when you wandered the barren places, gripped by loneliness or doubt, I remained nearer than your own thoughts, waiting no. With cold judgment, but with arms wide as the dawn. There are days when the world presses close, whispering that you are alone in your suffering, that I have forgotten you or grown silent. Yet my voice, gentle, unyielding, is always calling through the clamor and confusion. Draw near to me, for my steadfast love is not a fleeting rescue, nor a distant promise. I am present, the ground beneath your feet, and the sustenance of your spirit. I do not turn from your pain. I am with you as you trace each heartbreak, each fear, each unanswered prayer. These tender places, where you weep, I can know them, my own son drank the depths of human sorrow, so he might walk with you in every darkness. In him I dwell beside you, not as a distant judge, but as a companion, reshaping wounds into wellsprings of kindness. You may wonder at suffering, why the world breaks and bruises, why justice seems too slow, and grace too fragile. My ways undeniably stretch beyond your understanding, yet never outside the embrace of my love. What you experience as waiting or silence is not absence but preparation. In seasons of hardship, as night lingers and prayers seem to vanish into the empty air, I am drawing you deeper into truths unseen, cultivating within you a hope, more enduring than any comfort that could pass away. Trust that every ache is noticed, every lost mourner remembered, every moment held within the strength of my compassion. My desire is never your pain for its own sake, but that through the tangled maze of fear and longing, you might find the certainty that I am enough. Know this, beloved. You are not measured by what you achieve, what you own, or how consistently you appear strong. You do not need to perfect yourself to merit my attention. My eyes search not for flawlessness, but for the heart that turns toward me, evening weakness. When regret gnaws at your soul, when your call wounds given or received come with your honesty, I am not offended by your need. I welcome your confusion, your anger, your questions. Bring them to me, and I will meet you with mercy, not condemnation. Return again and again, I will not tire. My patience is inexhaustible. I mend the fragments of your story, restoring what seems beyond repair with the gentleness of a shepherd leading lost sheep safely home. In my forgiveness is the freedom you so deeply crave, the peace that eludes when you sit. Rived by your own strength, I have spoken forgiveness over you, not as a grudging pardon, but as a joyous declaration. You are mine, cherished beyond accounting. This grace is not a lesson to remain unmoved, but a living invitation to transformation. With every faltering step toward love, justice, and truth, you move closer to my heart. I give you my spirit as helper and comforter, source of clarity and resilience. When life's burdens seem insurmountable, listen for my whisper mid confusion. I will anchor you beyond what you fear will unravel. Doth hard. Nigh yourself against hope, for hope in me's not a fragile wish but a living force. I know how disappointment shadows your trust, how hope can feel like opening a wound. Yet I urge you, risk believing anew. Fix your eyes upon me, for I am faithful. The source of every dawn, the promise that never fails. I am working even in hidden ways, nurturing possibilities where you see only stones and silence. My love is patient, ever present, quietly laboring the impossible into existence. The world clamors for verdicts, demanding quick answers and certainty. But I call you, toe deeper Hitham, am not easily hurried. Shape each life with reverence and intent. Learn to wait in my presence, to let your questions breathe without fear of rejection. In stillness you will discover kindness you thought long buried, strength you assumed lost. I am teaching you to see others as a you, flawed, yet radiant with dignity and worth. Allow this recognition to guide your actions, to soften your judgments, to inspire you toward forgiveness and mercy. There will be moments when bitterness tempts you, when anger at injustice or grief over loss stiffens your heart. Even then, do not turn from me. I am your healer, the one who understands the depths of anger and the silent hate of suffering. Bring your outrage, your sorrow, and let me transform them into compassion, into resolve. Stand with those who are oppressed, seek peace, but do not fear engaging with the world's pain. Or ego with you wherever you are sent. My justice is not only for some, It is my joy to restore all who are broken, to lift up the crushed and weary. Remember that you are chosen and called. My invitation is extended always. Walk with me in honesty and hope. When you stumble, I am there to lift you. When you rejoice, I delight with you. When you despair, I encourage over you. Your story is precious to me, unfolding with meaning even when you cannot see the path forward. Trust that I am shaping you to reflect my love, that nothing is wasted in my hands, not sorrow, not joy, not even your waiting. Let your heart dare to believe the depth of my delight in you. Nothing can separate you from my love. No shame, no failure, no darkness. All I ask is that you come as you are, trusting that I will do for you what you cannot do alone. As you yield to me, you will be changed from within, made stronger in tenderness, bolder in truth, deeper in joy. I am with you now, as I have always been and always will be. Do not fear the road ahead, for I walk it with you. My steadfast love is your shelter, your strength, your everlasting home. Beloved, walk with me into the quiet of your heart, that you may hear me lovingly whisper the truth of your purpose. Since before you first opened your eyes to this world, I have known you and delighted in your every possibility. I made you not to stumble in darkness, but to walk in the radiance of my guiding presence. When confusion or discouragement creeps in, when it feels as though every step forward brings more questions, I am at your side, constant as the sunrise, patient and unwavering. Being ever eager to draw you near, my heart for you doesn't change with your performance. I am not keeping a tally of your failures, nor am I waiting for you to finally become someone worthy of my love. You are precious simply because you are mine. You may sometimes wonder whether your longings for love and connection have any place in my plan. Hear me answer aflame with gentleness. Every true desire in you reflects the spark of my image, for I am the very source of love. When you itch with loneliness, when you feel adrift and unseen, you are held in my embrace. Even if you do not recognize it, I am never distant. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Pain and sorrow may cloud your sight, but they cannot sever my bond with you. In every laugh and every tear in the quiet between, I am with you, loving you steadfastly with a care that fills every silent H. I don't tire of you, nor do I turn away when your burdens are heavy. Trust me enough to bring your struggles honestly into the light. You do not need to polish your prayers or offer me only the parts of yourself that you deem acceptable. I desire your whole heart with all its doubts and its hope, its wounds and its dreams. Let me meet you in the rawness of your frailty, as well as in your moments of strength, for I delight in being near to you there. When you confess weakness or sorrow, you are never shamed in my presence. I gather every piece of your story tenderly, understanding each one, and I pour out healing upon you, not always in the way or at the pace you might expect, but always in a manner perfectly suited to draw you deeper into my love. The world may measure you by standards I do not recognize. Voices may arise convincing you that you are insufficient or unlovable unless you achieve, earn, or perfect. These bird. My voice speaks freedom, lifting the yoke of impossible expectation. Be assured your value is anchored in my unwavering delight in you, not in the fleeting approval of others. When you set aside the fearful striving for affection and open your heart to my acceptance, you will find rest that no circumstance can shake. I am the root of your belonging, the home you have sought in so many places. As you journey onward, you will face choices that test your resolve and seasons in which waiting seems to stretch endlessly. Do not mistake delay for abandonment. My timing is never indifferent or careless. In the slow unfolding of my plans, you are being shaped, prepared to receive gifts far greater than you have dared to hope for. If you feel weary, lean into them. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. I don't require that you never falter. Rather, I am ready to lift you gently, to set your feet upon solid ground. Each time you grow faint, I invite you into a love that is not measured by achievements or spoiled by mistakes. Return to me as often as you need, no matter how many times you lose your way. I receive you with Oi notre reluctance, each return a celebration in my heart. For my desire has always been simply to have you near. I do not keep records of grievances to hold against you. I yearn instead to see you walk in freedom, released from shame and guilt. My mercy is not rationed. It flows ceaselessly, able to cleanse and renew again and again. In every person you encounter, my image is waiting to be recognized and cherished, just as it is within you. Walk with humility, seeking to honor others, even when they challenge or wound you. My love is the source of true forgiveness, and courage, enabling you to extend mercy where it seems impossible. Remember, I have shown you mercy beyond measure. Let this awareness open your heart to compassion that changes the world around you, one act of kindness at a time. You need not fear what lies ahead. The future is not a landscape to be conquered alone, but a path we walk together. It raveled before you and alongside you, preparing what you cannot foresee. Even in uncertainty, trust that my wisdom holds every possibility, weaving all things for your ultimate good. Rest now in the shelter of my presence. Feel my joy arise quietly in your spirit, as assurance that you are known and adored. Whatever your circumstances today, know this: I am faithful. My plans for you are hope and wholeness, a future filled with grace. If this moment has touched you, take one small step, send this to a friend who needs encouragement, or write one sentence in your journal about how you feel. Take heart, beloved, your life is precious to me. Trust my love. Let it tape your thoughts and actions. When tomorrow comes, I will already be there. Arms open, heart rejoicing at every step you take near to me. Beloved, my heart is never far from you, even as you struggle with doubts or sorrow. I am intimately near, surrounding you with a patience you may not always sense, but which unfolds you gently in every breath. Your pain does not alienate me, nor does your confusion deter my attention. These places where you feel lost or weary become instead sacred meeting grounds. I enter into the complexity of your life, the rawness of your emotions, and I don or coil from your disappointments with me or with yourself. My love is unshaken by your questions in every moment, whether you stand confidently in faith or stagger under the weight of uncertainty. I remain steadfast, holding you in a gaze filled with understanding. There are days when everything familiar seems shadowed or uncertain, when meaning slips through your fingers and your efforts feel fruitless. Yet in these moments, trust that my presence is not diminished. I am not waiting for you to become stronger before I draw near. I am in the very midst of your weakness. Where you see deficiency, I see opportunity for grace. Where you perceive failure, I perceive a heart that yearns for goodness. Do not judge yourself with the standards that others employ, or by the harshness of your own inner voice. I know the whole path you walk, the road behind you full of choices and scars, the ground beneath your feet alive with decisions, and the horizon ahead shining with promise. Every step I hold you gently, urging you forward, not with threats, but with hope. When you find yourself longing for answers, when life's riddles grow loud and confusing, let your questions rise to me. You need not hide them or pretend certainty. I am not impatient with your wonderings. In the honesty of your search, you open space for my wisdom to meet you. My answers don't always arrive in the forms you expect. Sometimes I give peace instead of explanations, or courage rather, earth and clarity, even insolence. I am attentive, trust that nothing you bring is too messy or complicated. I have walked the lonely roads of anguish. I have stood amidst the fires of disappointment. I have wept and rejoiced with you through every chapter. I am not repelled by what others overlook. In places you keep hidden, my love quietly labors, bringing light. Do not be afraid to rest, even when the world clamors for constant striving. You are not measured by your productivity or achievements in my eyes. I know how weariness can settle into your bones. And per candor can your mind. My invitation to you is not into endless toil, but into a peace secure enough to receive healing. Draw your breaths deeply. Allow yourself the pauses where fear and anxiety subside. In those quiet spaces I am most easily heard. In your rest, attend to wounds and plant hope. My joy is not contingent on your perfection. It flows from my delight in who you already are. You dwell beneath my watchful care. You are safe to be fully yourself. Though you may look at yourself and see only your faults, or the ways you have failed, know that I see you as precious, worth every act of redemption, every whisper of encouragement. Your value is not up for debate or determined by shifting standards. From before your first day you have been cherished in my heart. My faithfulness does not falter with your emotions, nor fluctuate with your circumstances. In your struggles, I am the hand that steadies. In your joys, I am the laughter that fills your spirit. You do not journey alone. I accompany you in every chapter. Attentive event to the hops you dare not speak aloud. Lean into this truth when you feel isolated or misunderstood, even if the world fails to recognize your worth or your needs go unmet. I am ever attentive, gathering up every sigh and every unspoken plea. I understand your limitations. I account for your frailty. I ask not for strength you do not possess, but rather I invite you to receive mine each day. When your burdens grow heavy, bring them to me. Lay down what you cannot bear and let me bear it with you. My comfort is real. My help is never delayed or absent. Whatever tomorrow holds, I have gone before you and I remain with you. You may worry that your love for me is too weak or faltering, that your faith is inadequate. Listen, dear one, I cherish your simple longing, your smallest prayer, your imperfect halting steps. I seek not performance but honesty. Come to me as you are. I have no interest in masks. If tears are all you can offer, I receive them with tenderness. If gratitude wells up suddenly amid hardship, I celebrate with you. If you feel nothing at all, know that I am still as near to you as your own breath. My presence is not determined by your feelings. It is my unbreakable promise. Sometimes my work in your life is quiet, almost imperceptible, much like a seed slowly opening beneath dark soil. Most transformation begins unseen. You might mistake this subtleness for absence, yet I'm always active, restoring, mending, igniting new courage. In waiting seasons, in what feels like stagnation, remember that waiting is not wasted. Everything in trust. Edtum, no matter how small or broken, grows under my care, so do not despair when progress is invisible. Let patience open your eyes to the gentle movement of my hand in your circumstances, weaving meaning through event the mundane. As you walk into the unknown days ahead, take heart. My goodness is not fragile, nor is my faithfulness subject to the whims of fortune. I carry you in my remembrance. Nothing about you is ever forgotten. When you falter, I remain unwavering. When you celebrate, I join in your delight. My promise is certain. Nothing can separate you from me, love. Not shame nor failure, nor loss nor even death. Draw near, rest in this assurance. You are and always will be beloved. I am nearer to you than the breath in your lungs, my beloved. Every trembling hope, every shadow of doubt, I have witnessed with unwavering patience. You may think sometimes that your pleading falls into silence, that the H within you escapes my notice, but I don't turn my face away. Even in your restless midnight hours, I cradle your soul in a peace deeper than your understanding. You may have woven careful masks to hide from others, weighed down by mistakes, longing, regrets. But is you as you truly are, my child, luminous, flawed, searching, unforgotten? Often you wonder what purpose guides your days, or whether any of your small acts truly matter in the measureless expanse of time. Yet every kindness, those given freely with no witness or reward, returns to me as a chorus of joy. With every word spoken gently, every burden carried for another, you echo me own heart for this world. The greatest works are often hidden precious to him because love inspires them, not applause. Nothing in you when love is wasted, and I hold each offering as a treasure. You ask me why suffering exists, why sorrow finds a place even in the lives of those who seek me with earnest devotion. My heart aches with yours in these moments. Though you cannot see the fullness of the story, know that I walk with you through pain, sharing each tear in silent prayer. Your struggles are not punishments, nor signs of rejection. They are seasons of growth, chances to draw courage from my strength. I never leave you to bear your sorrow alone. In your darkest valleys, I remain steadfast. Ask calling you forward, whispering hope, even when you feel abandoned. Let your trust rest not on the shifting ground of circumstance, but upon my unchanging love. When shame presses hard against your heart because of failures or wounds you cannot forget, remembered that I am the one who forgives without limit. Nobleness can bear you from my embrace. While others may condemn or misunderstand, my mercy is wider than the horizon, seek no perfection from you. I desire your presence, your desire to turn again toward me. Return as often as you must, quote to me, welcome. The past cannot bind you. If you surrender it into my hands, you are made new. Each time you acknowledge your need and open yourself to my grace. Some days fear may shadow your steps, and the voices of the world clamor and confuse, offering promises of peace, yet delivering only restlessness. Listen instead to the stillness where I speak my assurances. They are no empty words. You cannot control the challenges that lie ahead, but you can trust that I celebrate every act of courage, every choice to trust me even when the path is hidden. My spirit is given not only for comfort, but for holy boldness. Stand in the knowledge that you are never forsaken, that I am already present wherever your journey carries you, ever inviting you deeper into joy and steadfastness. If loneliness finds you, when friendships falter, dreams crumble, or life shifts in ways you never wished for, know that my companionship does not waver. I draw near to the broken-hearted, gather the scattered, and dwell with those who mourn. There is no line so deep that I cannot touch it with belonging. Lift your gaze, I am with you in your desert places and at your table of celebration. You are not forgotten, not unseen, I sing over you quiet songs of hope and restoration, renewing you in ways you can. Not always feel, but can trust is real each time you're each beyond yourself, offering compassion, forgiving enemy, opening your handing generosity. You create ripples of grace that move through the world. Though you may never witness the fruit of these actions, know that I am working through them. Even when your strength falters and you fall short of your own desires, my love is not measured by your success. Your worth is found in my relentless affection, noting your performance. As you grow, let your heart be shaped not by fear or striving, but by the gentle assurance of my delight in you. I cherish your questions, your longing to understand, your steps of trust. I invite you to bring every hope and wound, every confusion and longing before me. My joy is to meet you in your honest searching, to walk with you in hard places, to rejoice with you in moments of wonder. We are not strangers, you are known, fully cherished beyond measure. Let this truth settle into your deepest self. I am constant, a presence unfailing, even as all else changes around you. When you cannot feel me, when faith is thin and prayers are simple, you are and always loved. My promises do not rest on the strength of your belief, but on the boundless certainty of who I am. So come where you're rejoicing, hopeful, or discouraged. There will never be a moment when my love withdraws. Trust this, and you will find rest even in the waiting. I delight to dwell with you now and always. I know the trembling of your heart when you face another day, unsure of what will unfold or whether you have the strength to meet it. You wonder at the meaning behind each struggle, searching for assurance that your suffering is not wasted, that I am present through even your weakest moments. Do not think your questions are hidden from me. I receive them all with tenderness. Is it with you in your uncertainty, your grief, your weary attempts at hope? Every sigh, every quiet prayer, every desperate longing finds its way to me, and I do not look away or diminish the weight you carry. There is nothing within you. I do not know nothing that can estrange you from the mercy I extend, as the quiet acts of faith you perform amid confusion. How you speak kindness or offer patience when you feel empty yourself. These are precious to me, not for their perfection, but because they spring from your desire to live in the light, even when you cannot fully see it. It reassures your fidelity and disappointment, your choice to remain open when cynicism beckons. Believe this. There is no moment too ordinary, too shadowed, or too marred that it falls outside my loving regard. When your burdens seem too great, I am not heaping more upon you. I am in truth drawing near and bearing them with you. I am the voice whispering peace when fears wells. The presence is strengthening you to take one more step. It is my joy to share your sorrows, to gently remind you that despair will not have the final word. Where the world measures your worth by success or outward strength, I delight in the humble, persistent trust that chooses me even insolence and darkness. To whom your smallest act of faith is radiant, and your honest laments are received as offerings of hope. You may wonder what purpose pain serves, how I can allow what wounds you so deeply. Know this, I do not delight in your suffering or stand aloof as you struggle. My love is not blind to your tears. Yet in the places cracked open by sorrow, I draw closest. Your woundedness never disqualifies you from my love. In fact, it is the very place where my grace pours most freely. In your brokenness, I do not see. Failure built a door to deeper trust, an invitation for us to walk together undisguised. When you bring me your rawest questions, I meet them with an understanding, not judgment. There is no need to hide from me. I have planted hope within you, the kind that doesn't depend on easy answers or rubble-free days. It is hope rooted in my constancy, not in the shiftings of circumstance. Even now you're being drawn into a trust that is stronger than fear, a peace that defies explanation. When hope flickers low, do not condemn yourself in those moments. Let me be your hope, lean into me even when certainty fails, and you will find me steady and unchanging, holding space for your confusion as well as your faith, because I am with you. You are never alone. Note in your mundanities, note in your heartaches, and not in your moments of joy. I do not measure your closeness to me by your feelings, but by my promise to remain with you. Your belonging is secured not by your unbroken strength, but by my unwavering presence. Every longing for significance, every ache for connection finds its answer in me. You are known, you are loved, not for what you accomplish, but for who you are and whose you are. When you doubt, bring your doubts to him. When anger stirs, let it be spoken. I will not reject you for these reactions. I welcome your honest thought. Rawness does not threaten me. Even when you pull away or use silence as a shield, I remain beside you, patient in love, persistent in my invitation for you to come as you are. My compassion is not earned by your efforts. I do not keep a ledger of faults, nor weigh you against impossible standards. Your story matters because you matter too, even as you wait for answers. Let yourself be surprised by the ways I move. Allow stillness to be a place where healing begins, rather than an absence you must fill. In your solitude, I am quietly working, weaving wholeness where you see only fragments. Over time, you will recognize my gentle touch in small joys and unexpected encouragements. Trust that nothing you surrender to is lost. Your sacrifices, your forgiveness, your tenacity in loving others all become part of the hope I am nurturing in you. Let your life, however simple or complex it may seem, become a living conversation with me. In laughter, in lament, in persistence, through disappointment, keep turning toward me. My presence is the promise that your journey is not in vain. Your pain is not the end of your story. The path is not easy, but I promise myself as your companion and guide. Rest in the knowledge that I hold both the beginning and the end, and I choose to walk each moment with you. What you cannot yet understand, trust me to carry, and know that you are always enfolded in my inexhaustible love. You are precious to me, not because of what you accomplish or the image you present, but because I have made you and I see you truly. Whenever you wonder about your value, remember that you are never invisible. Even when you struggle to believe it, my attention is ever upon you. I do not glance away from you in your times of uncertainty. I am with you in your courage, and I draw near in your weakness. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You may fear disappointing me, yet my love does not rise and fall with your performance. The longings of your soul are not burdens I grow weary of hearing. I honor your honest questions and receive even your sighs and silent tears. When the world moves too quickly, when you falter or cannot find words to pray, I remain with you, patient and unhurried, eager for you to simply be with me. You need not fear the truth that resides in your heart. Bring it into the open, for I am not intimidated by your doubts or wariness. In my presence, there is room for the feelings you tuck away and the hopes you scarcely dare to name. Let me hold your uncertainty. I welcome every part of you, your anger, grief, fatigue, and even what feels like emptiness. I am well acquainted with every dimension of your experience, and still I cherish you. My compassion is not a fragile thing. It is strong enough to shelter you in every storm, and gentle enough to heal wounds you have carried far too long. The path I have set before you is not always easy to understand. Sometimes you must walk through territory that feels desolate, or wait through stretches that test your patience, yet even insolence and apparent stillness. I am working for your good. Trust does not mean stifling your questions. It means inviting me into the places where you are unsure. You will come to know my heart more deeply, not by grasping every answer, but by encountering my presence along the way. I don't ask you to force clarity or resolve mysteries by your own effort. Allow yourself to rest in the knowledge that I am faithfully guiding you, even when the next step seems hidden in fog. In your relationships, you encounter the beauty in a lens of sharing life with others who are like you in process. Let my love be the well you draw from patience for those who wound you, humility when you long to judge, courage when you feel misunderstood. Remember, you do not walk alone. I am at work in every heart you meet, including your own, when reconciliation seems impossible or wounds remain unhealed. I am present in the spaces between you, weaving hope and possibility where only discouragement seems to dwell. You may not see the fruit of your love right away. Sometimes you plant seeds whose springtime arrives in days beyond your sight. Yet every act of kindness nourishes life far beyond what you can measure. You may believe you need to qualify for my nearness, as though only those with spotless faith or relentless strength can claim my attention. But I draw particularly close to the humble, to those who admit their need and trust my goodness in the midst of their uncertainty. Do not despise the limits of your understanding or the reality of your weakness. Instead, bring all that you are into my presence, and receive my delight in you. What you perceive as lack, often see as openness. Where you sense fragility, is a heart willing to grow. My power is made perfect in the very places you feel inadequate. Let the rhythms of ordinary life become sacred as you invite me into them. You don't need to retreat from the world to find me. I am with you in the habitual and the hectical ike. Whether you are surrounded by noise or in constant quiet, I am equally accessible, eager to be known. When you pour a cup of water, listen to another story, comfort a friend, or attend to your work. You are not far from me. Each moment is an opportunity to answer my invitation. Come closer, let yourself beloved. Let my presence reshape how you move through the world. Take time to return to me in the midst of your day, and let my voice quiet the clamor of demands and doubts. If regret haunts you, hear me. I don't define you by your mistakes. My forgiveness is not sting or limited. Whenever you turn toward me, you find mercy open-armed. You need not earn this grace, it is freely given again and again. When you allow yourself to be forgiven, you learn to extend gentleness and patience toward yourself and to others. The past cannot chain you, for I am making all things new. Receive the hope of fresh beginnings and bring your history to me. For I know how to redeem what seemed lost. Thought the world may tempt you to seek worth in fleeting pleasures or the approval of others. Your soul will find true rest in me. When you feel restless or unsatisfied, let those sensations draw you gently toward my heart. For I alone can satisfy your longing for belonging and meaning. You are not expected to numb your yearning or silence questions that rise from deep within. Instead, meet me in yearning. I am not absent from your hunger. I am its fulfillment. Every day choose to begin again with me. However weary, hopeful, or uncertain you feel, my invitation is constant. Walk with me. There will be seasons where my presence feels bright and seasons where you sense only faint echoes, But I remain steadfast. I wait for you with patience that outlasts your doubts. When you cannot perceive my nearness, remember that I am still working, yes, even then, forming you into one who reflects my love in the world. Trust that my faithfulness is not shaken by the rise and fall of your emotions or the shifting tides of your circumstances. Nothing you bring to me is too small or inconsequential. If it matters to you, it matters to Mum. Your joys, your fears, your quiet celebrations, and deep disappointments. I rejoice with you and grieve with you. I am your constant companion, your source of strength, your unshakable home. As you continue this journey, rest in my love and carry forward the certainty that you're cherished now and always. Let your heart be open to him, for I am always open to you, beloved child. Every step you take matters to me. See how your heart longs for assurance, quiet certainty amid the unpredictable seas of each new day. Trouble does not startle me, nor does uncertainty cast me into doubt. Remember, I am your constant anchor, unmoved by the surges of fear or the whispers of worry that flit through your mind. When your confidence falters and shadows threaten to overtake you, my guidance is steadfast. I reach toward you not only in the moments of quiet prayer, but also in those times when your thoughts scatter and your strength feels thin. I know you completely, even those inward questions you barely admit or yourself. Yet I never tire of loving you. My desire is not to weigh you with burdens or endless expectations. You are not asked to manufacture worth. I have invested my own love within you. No accomplishment or failure can strip away this gift. When you consider your life, do not measure yourself by what you have yet to do, or by flaws you see in the mirror. Instead, turn your gaze toward me. I created you with an intention deeper than what most eyes ever perceive, and my thoughts about you are purposeful and kind. Even now, as you wonder about your future or grieve the things left undone, I invite you to rest in my assurance. I walk with you, never withdrawing, never absent. Your life's path wins, but I aim by your side, speaking peace into your moments of restlessness. I will not force you to ignore your pain. Instead, bring your honest heart to me. Even when anger or confusion shadow your prayers, I will not turn away. I welcome your reality. Trust is not for dead in pretense, but in coming just as you are. Let every worry, every fear, and every hope pour out before me. I hold your entire self, the seen and unseen, in the safety of my presence. Where you see weakness, see opportunity for my sustaining grace. Where you falter, my mercy stands ready, never exhausted. Always new, you do not have to earn my favor, for it is freely given. Look beyond what you accomplish and rest in the knowledge that I am already pleased to call you my beloved. If you listen closely, sometimes in the quiet, sometimes in the clamor, you will sense my voice drawing you toward the good yet ahead. I do not beckon with judgment, but with invitation. My spirit stirs your imagination for kindness, or leads you to forgive, or grants you courage to try again. Cherish those nudges, for they signal my intimacy with you. Each day holds voice, and I delight way. Nigh you turn to him, however tentative, however imperfect. Do not despise small beginnings, and do not be ashamed of starting again. Is you as you really are unmasked. My love is not rationed by your perfection. It overflows because of who I am and who you are to him. You have wondered at times what difference your life can truly make. In a world straining beneath its burdens, you may question whether your love, your faith, your smallest act of kindness has any power. Yet you, I have shaped your life for deep meaning. No seed falls to the ground unnoticed. Ever. Yet rooted in compassion echoes within my creation. When you lift another's spirit, when you speak gently, though your voice trembles, or forgive when you would rather remember a wound, you become part of my work, renewing all things. My love travels through your hands, your words, your silent presence, transforming the ordinary into holy ground. There are days when forgiveness feels impossible, especially when you've endured injury or betrayal. My heart understands your pain more deeply than you know. And though forgiveness may seem beyond your ability, why offer you the courage to begin? not to deny your wounds or erase your memories, but to let my healing enter those bruised places. As you release resentment, not all at taunts, but in moments of honesty with me, I promise to restore what bitterness tries to steal. Let me hold both your sorrow and your anger until they soften into peace. In forgiving you, open yourself to the freedom I desire for you, a space wide enough to hope again. You sometimes wrestle with doubts, feeling unworthy of grace, questioning whether you measure up or belong at all. Do not let shame shape your image of me or of yourself. I see you through the eyes of love. My delight is not a reward for your perfection, but a gift given because you are mine. I am never ashamed of your honest tears, never turned away by your confusion or your questions. In your weakness, you draw nearer, not farther. Bring your doubts, your fears, your contradictions, and let me hold them. I do not expect you to have every answer, only that you allow yourself to be held by the one who understands and cherishes you as you are and as you are becoming. There may be nights when the silence stretches long and unanswered prayers weigh heavily on your heart. Trust that I am working in the quiet. My purposes sometimes unfold in ways hidden from your sight, yet I do not waste your pain or your longing. Hold fast to me when understanding fails. I am present, the waiting, quietly shaping hope within you. Faith is not the absence of questions, but the courage to trust that I remain faithful, even when the way is unclear. Know that I will never abandon you in the dark. Your future may feel uncertain, unpredictable as weather. You look ahead searching for assurance, wondering what awaits just beyond your outstretched hand. Beloved, place your tomorrows in my keeping. I walk before you as well as beside you. Open yourself each day to the life set before you, gathering joy where you find it and embracing courage. When challenges arise, my encouragement is not empty. My spirit is your companion, steadying your steps and guiding you in wisdom. When you listen for my voice, you will find it, sometimes as quiet insistence, sometimes as peace amidst turmoil, sometimes as a call to rise when you would rather rest. As you journey, remember that you are part of a vast community, seen and unseen, carried by prayers, strengthened by the faith of those who walk ahead, beside, and behind you. You belong here, never isolated or forgotten. Let others join you in your vulnerability and your triumph. Share your burdens, receive love, offer encouragement. My family is not bound by fear or division, but grows stronger through compassion and shared hope. Your honest presence is itself a gift to those searching for light. My child, before the sun rises and the world stirs, I have already drawn near to you. My eyes see you as you open your heart in search of peace for this day, longing for a sense of assurance that holds true no matter what unfolds ahead. This moment right now is not a random stop along your road. I have brought you here because you were so ready to listen. And there are things I want you to know that will change how you walk through this day and many to come. You have wondered whether anyone sees the quiet burdens you carry or the hopes you're afraid to speak. Here in the hush before the noise, know that I heard them all. Let your first breath be zinc that you are being held. The worries that pressed on you through the night, the concerns for your family, the doubts about your own strength, they are not invisible to me. I am not far off, weighing and measuring from a distance. I am with you close. Retain your heartbeat, shaping the light that rises through your window. Every morning offers you a fresh invitation. Come start with me. Your gratitude, even when it feels small, hesitant, or halting, shifts the very air within your heart, opening your eyes to notice what I am already doing for you and the people you love. Place your hand over your chest for a moment. Feel the steady liveliness that I have given you. With every rise and fall, you are reminded that your existence is not by accident. You are planted by my design, set apart for things only you can do. I know the walls you have built to keep the world at bay, the ways you have learned to hide your true needs or manage your worries in secret. Yeah, they're with me. You don't have to be guarded. You can let down your guard and simply be fully seen and fully understood. Pause here, breathe in slowly and deeply. Whisper or think the thing that worries you most and hand it to her. Say, I give this to you. Let this breath be zinc that you are safe. The anxieties that want to take root in your day, give them to me now. Whisper in your heart the thing that worries you most. Even if it feels too tangled for words, I am ready to carry it with you. My comfort does not depend on how steady you feel or how clearly you can pray. Even your quietest sigh has my full attention. You are not alone, my beloved. I walk beside you, step for step, shaping new mercies before your feet touch the floor. You have looked ahead and seen obstacles that seem too great for you, conversations you fear needs you aren't sure how to meet. At times you have measured today by yesterday's disappointments and tomorrow's unknowns. But I am not limited by your past, and I don't panic about your future. I am already present in each moment you will face. I am your shelter through every storm, and I promise to lead you with patience and kindness. Though your hands may feel empty at times, I fill them with every good gift needed for this season. Right now, take a moment. Whisper one thing you're thankful for. Give thanks for what you have now, for in gratitude, you will discover blessings that have been there real along. Courage, forgiveness, a quiet of hope, the love of your family, and opportunities yet unseen. Each act of thankfulness is a small seed planted in trust, ready to become something beautiful in due time. Let your heart turn toward hope, even if it is only a flicker this morning. Consider your family, every person who weighs on your heart, every uncertainty you whisper about those you love. None escape my notice. See where you long for healing, for mended relationships, for protection over the ones you call your own. Trust me to move in ways you cannot yet perceive. My timing is not rushed or careless. It is shaped by perfect wisdom and deep compassion. As you are faithful in prayer and of kindness, so too am I faithful to guard and nurture the lives you entrust to my dear child. I know how tempting it is to grasp for control, to strain to build your own security, to map out each step and outcome. You don't need to have every answer or solution. It is enough. In this moment, to from your open hands, let your first surrender of the day be your willingness to trust me with uncertainties. When you do not know how to move forward, pause and listen for my voice. It may speak through a sudden peace, through the wisdom of a friend, or an unexpected quiet that steadies your heart. Rise gently from where you sit early. Feel the strength in your body, no matter how weary you may also feel. Every day is a gift, every morning an invitation to trust me new, my beloved child. Listen to me closely right now. I know the things you wish you could change, is the mistakes you're playing your mind, the ones you wish you could correct. Let them go. Let me lead you now with tenderness and truth. My mercy is not rationed out in small portions. It is new, it is overflowing, and it is ready to wash away the stains of regret and fill you with a courage you thought was gone forever. If there's regret you've carried, say the word forgiven. Louder in your heart and lay it down. Today let me be your constant when the world demands more than you feel able to give. Remember that I am the source of your peace and wisdom. You do not have to strive for love or chase after approval. In my presence you already have everything you need to meet this day with hope. Sit there with me for a moment longer. Let the quietness settle in your soul. I am here speaking to your heart, preparing you for all that lies ahead. Do not rush past this stillness in pursuit of answers or action. In the quiet, seeds of trust are planted, and you will find what you need to flourish, whatever this day brings. I am with you always, and you are held in my faithful care. Perceive hidden corridors of your heart. Every place where longing trembles with hope, and every shadow that atches to be seen, let my voice find you there. You may feel alone in your exhaustion, weighed down by burdens none else notices. To see the fears you try to hush when the world is quiet. Still in that hush, I am with you. I am nearer than the breath inside your chest. My presence endures through your uncertainty and carries. You when doubt feels heavier than faith, I don't pull away from your questions, nor to flinch from the pain you bring to me. You do not need to polish your prayers or listen for the perfect words. It is your honest thought I desire. Trust me with what feels too much, too raw, too tangled, Devon, for you to fully understand. When you cannot articulate your need, I already know it, and my love toward you does not waver, nor drain away with your confidence. You look for signs and answers, for evidence that you matter, that you are not forgotten. Beloved, I have held you from the beginning long before you could call my name. There's nothing accidental about your existence, is shaped you in love, delighted in your laughter, before you ever uttered a sound. Now ound or failure names you to me. The world clamors with voices that measure your worth in heights you must climb and awards you must gather. But easy further than your striving, I am not disappointed in your weakness. I draw near to you in it, longing to fill your emptiness with myself. When you think your flame is too small to warm anyone, remember it is my light kindling within you, and that light cannot be extinguished by the darkness, no matter how thick. When you stumble again and regret closes in like night, listen to him. Grace is not fragile. My welcome does not withdraw when you collapse. I don't keep a ledger of your failures. I have already chosen to forgive. Each time you turn back to him, you find not a reprimand, but embrace. Come easy you are with all your chips and bruises, and let me restore what is broken. Even as sorrow twists inside you, my spirit stands beside you, patient and gentle, guiding you forward step by step. You do not have to be unafraid to keep walking. It's enough to walk with me, to trust that I carry the courage you lack. In moments when disappointment stirs your spirit and dreams seem hollow, bring your disillusionment to me. I know the bitterness that blooms when hope is deferred. Still, I am not indifferent to your tears, nor am I silent when your prayers seem to vanish into emptiness. My promises are not bound to the outcomes you expect, but to my heart toward you, which is unchanging and sure. I am working for your good. Sometimes I work behind the veil of what you can see, always with the wisdom that weaves sorrow into newness of life. Nothing offered in love is wasted. No act of kindness goes unnoticed. Even the smallest choices to trust, to bless, to forgive, these carry eternal weight. Even though you may feel invisible, let your anxieties find rest in me. Each day brings cares beyond your strength, but I have not left you to carry them alone. Bring me what troubles you. Fears for tomorrow, grief for what has been lost, their relentless ache for reconciliation. Nothing is too small or messy for my compassion. I am here. No toss a distant judge, test the one who kneels beside you, washing your weariness, speaking life where despair whispers otherwise. When you loosen your grip, you make space for me to act, and my sufficiency fills what your efforts cannot. You were created to belong, not only to me but to each other. I invite you to be gentle with others, as I am gentle with you. To see them with my eyes beyond the surface, beyond what is loud or angry or broken in them, where you are misunderstood or overlooked. I remind you that you are seen by me. You are cherished even when unslever. Aided by others, in loving you become most like me, merciful, slow to anger, rich in kindness. I do not call you to love perfectly, but to let my perfect love flow through your imperfection, healing wounds beyond your awareness. Let me open your eyes to my presence in your ordinary days, in laughter shared, in an unexpected kindness, in the quiet strength to persevere. I delight in your joy. My heart moves when you rejoice, just as I gather your tears. The world insists that you measure yourself, prove yourself, and always chase more. Yet my invitation remains unchanged. Abiding my love, rest in your belovedness. Let my acceptance set you free from performing for a worthy you already possess. I am not impatient with your progress, nor disappointed in your pace. Walk with me as you are, and become who you are meant to be. One step, one breath in the light of my enduring presence. I am not far off or forgetful, but always moving toward you with arms eager to welcome. When the way ahead is blurred by setbacks or sorrow, remember you are anchored in me. My faithfulness does not waver or expire. Every promise I have made is sustained, led by my own character, not by your ability to uphold it. All that you entrust into my hands, I receive with gentleness. Nothing you ask for with an honest thought is overlooked or dismissed. I hear every whispered question, every sigh beneath the noise. Let yourself be found in me. Let your striving cease and learn what it means to be carried by a love that will never let you go. Do not fear what you lack, nor what you cannot control. I am with you in weakness and in waiting. My strength is present not where you are, already self-sufficient, but where you need me most. And now, as faith feels feeble and days are long, I hold you secure. Trust not as a solution, but as an open hand. Dare to hope, for I am making all things new. Event those parts of youth that feel farthest gone. Nothing will separate you from my love. No fear, no shame, no loss. You are mine, and I will not leave you alone. Remain with me, always remain with you. This is the life for which your heart was made. I speak to you now, my beloved, as the dawn breaks anew and you take your next trembling step into the mystery of each moment. You have felt my spirit stirring within you, sometimes as a rushing wind, sometimes as a quiet whisper. Do not mistake my gentleness for absence, nor my patience for distance. I am nearer than breath, holding your heart when fear presses in, catching every tear before it falls unseen. When you question whether I listen, remember every sigh, every hope, every agonized silence. These have reached me. When you tire of striving to be worthy, lay that burden down. Your value is not measured by your perfection or your progress, but by the love I poured into you before the world had shape or shadow. I see you as you long to be seen, your truest self, not your failing, not the roles you are told to play, but the child for whom I have always longed. Let that assurance seep into the restless corners of your mind. You are safe within my regard, even as storms rage outside. You are not called to navigate these storms alone. I do not look for flawless faith or unbroken resolve. I look for the fragile trust that says, here I am, even if I do not understand. Bring your confusion, your questions, your dismay, and let me hold them with you. Grace is not a trickle, but a flood that closes every gap between us. If only you choose to step in, I will not force your hand, for love never coerces. Still, I wait with open arms, longing for event the smallest turning of your heart toward me. As you move through your days, I see the woundings and longings that shape you. I see the tenderness you hide for fear of being hurt again, the dreams you only dare to whisper in the dark, the quiet resignation that sometimes settles sovereign you like. Evening fog, I don a trecoil from what dismays you. I move toward you, embracing your uncertainty, cultivating hope where you see barrenness. I delight in the beauty only you bring into the world. The small acts of kindness, the courage to begin again, the willingness to love in a world that has not always seemed kind. Even as you stumble, even as you fall, I am present, strong enough to shoulder what is too much for you to carry alone. Trust that every moment matters to me. There are no lost days in the life you share with me, no conversations unheard, no efforts unnoticed. When regret tries to define you, let my voices speak louder. You are more than your history, more than what was done to you or what you have done. Every part of your journey can be redeemed, no matter how shattered or small it might seem. My power is made perfect, noting gleaming ability or unshakable will, but in quiet surrender and the courageous admission of your need. When you confess your limits, you do not repel me, you invite me nearer. Know this, nothing you bring to me is too insignificant, too repetitive, or too embarrassing. My patience outlasts your impatience. My forgiveness outstrips your shame. Turn and you will find me waiting, not with judgment, but with the joy of a parent embracing a precious child who has finally come home. You do not need to rehearse your apologies or negotiate formality. My love is a gift already given, a promise I have sworn upon myself. In the greatest darkness, even there I embrace you. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You cannot outfail my grace. There is now where you can flee that my love cannot pursue. Now weakness in you that makes me flinch. As you ponder your purpose, do not fret for grand destinies or the approval of others. Your days are not wasted when spent in quiet trust, when you offer compassion in small unseen ways, when you refuse to harden your heart. What the world calls little, I often call great. It is not the magnitude of your work, but the love with which you live that brings joy to my heart. Seek joy in my presence, not as a fleeting feeling, but as the deep certainty that you are known and cherished. When you falter, let that joy steady you. When you are exhausted by expectation, come and rest. I will quiet your soul with my affection. I will sing over you with gladness. Beloved, remember that you journey not alone, but with me and with all my children. Reach out gently, forgive easily, and receive kindness without suspicion. While the world around you magnifies division, I invite you to reconciliation. To see your brothers and sisters with my compassionate eyes. Let go of judgment, just as you receive mercy. The love I pour into you is not only for your comfort, but to overflow to others. When you share burdens, you draw close to my heart. You may not always feel brave or wise. You may wonder if your voice matters. Hear me now. You matter. Your voice matters. Your presence is irreplaceable. What I have called you to is not beyond you, for I myself will accomplish what I have begun in you. Even when you give up, I do not. When you walk through shadows, hold fast to this truth. I am with you and you are never lost to me, so step forward even if your steps are uncertain. Trust that each day is ripe with my invitation to draw closer, to be healed and to heal, to receive love and to give love. Welcome my presence into your ordinary, your mundane, your hidden griefs and secret joys. I am not weary of you. I am never tired of loving you. Let my delight be your strength, my nearness your comfort. Take heart, for nothing can separate you from my love, which enfolds you now and always. I have always known the inmost shape of your longing. I have watched your each with trembling hands for purpose and wholeness, carrying hopes fragile as spring leaves. My love for you is more enduring and richer than any failing you fear. Not a single tear you shed escapes my notice. Your sighs reach me even when you cannot find words. When loneliness presses close and questions seem unyielding, you are not abandoned. You have never been forsaken, not for a heartbeat. My spirit waits with you insolent moments and restless nights. Every sorrow, every disappointment, every ache hidden from others, none is invisible to you. I wonder why pain endures, why prayers appear to fall silent and unhearing ground. Yet in every waiting season, I am at work within you and around you, fashioning beauty in ways unseen and shaping strength in the slow rhythm of hope. Do not mistake my patience for absence. Sometimes answers unfold quietly like dawn overtaking the dark, and sometimes they come as a fierce light shattering chains. Trust that I am faithful even when nothing makes sense, that my promises are not fragile or thin. I do not tire of your questions. I welcome your honesty, your anger, your fears, bring them to me as they are, unvarnished and real. You are not a problem to solve, but a beloved soul cherished into healing. My mercy widens every time you stumble. My forgiveness is a gift I offer before you even ask. Guilt will urge you to hide. Shame will try to cover your face. But I call you out into the warmth of my presence, into the healing of being known and loved without condition. If you listen closely in times of silence, you will sense my invitation, a nudging not toward perfection, but toward openness. I desire your heart, not a careful performance. I call you to walk with me, to let me lift what you cannot. My strength is always ready to meet your weakness, not with reproach, but with gentle kindness. Refuse to believe that you are alone in your struggle. I am nearer than breath, standing with you in the tension between hope and despair. I will not condemn you for your questions or doubts. Instead, I walk beside you, guiding each uncertain step, even when you cannot feel me. Let your burdens unfurl before me. I am strong enough to carry them and tender enough to hold your brokenness with care. You wonder sometimes whether you are enough. You look at your reflection, measuring, comparing, wishing. Know this with certainty. You are dearly loved, not because of what you do, but because of who you are to me. It shaped your soul in love and claimed you before the world called you by any other name. Only I can reveal your true worth, and it is steady, unwavering. You do not need to strive for it. You only need to receive it. When you falter, Remember that I do not withdraw or shame you. My correction is always given for your good, never as punishment. In your weakness, my affection does not diminish, it deepens. Do not be afraid to let go of what cannot heal you. There are relationships, habits, and fears you clutch tightly thinking they will fill the H, but emptiness remains. Let me teach you a new way to live, one marked by honest trust, by release rather than anxious control. As you loosen your grip, my peace finds room to settle in your soul, quieting anxieties that have troubled you for so long. It is not in your power to make yourself whole. Wholeness is my gift. Let it unfold gently as I lead you. You will not lose yourself by yielding to me. In my presence, your most authentic self is freed. Your dignity is protected. Your story, though marked by wound, this is not defined by them. Sometimes your journey winds through places of waiting and separation, through grief and weariness so deep you wonder how much further you can continue. Let me remind you, I do not measure your faithfulness by how lively your spirit feels. I see the courage it takes to hope again after disappointment. I cherish the quiet perseverance you show when praise won't pass your lips, but obedience urges you onward. I count every small act of kindness, every unseen sacrifice as precious. I hold your life in my hands, not as something fragile. Obedropt Butacitri is your precious tum. Where you feel forgotten, know I always remember. You may question why joy sometimes feels remote, or why others appear to flourish while you falter. Do not fall into the trap of comparison. My work in you is unique, suited to your heart and your history. My timing is not hurried, nor is it slow by mistake. In everything I am drawing you closer, teaching you of insecurity, not in changing circumstances, but in my unchanging heart. Do not despise the small beginnings. Out of what feels insignificant, I cultivate growth. Hand abundance, I delighting seeing yours again and again, never judging your falls, but rejoicing in every step returned to me. I am the God who listens, the one who holds your story from beginning to eternity. There is nothing too small for my attention and nothing too broken for my redemption. If you feel paralyzed by regret, breathe and return to me. I will not remind you of your failures, but will point you toward the hope I have prepared for you. This hope is not a distant shelter, but a living promise, vibrant within your reach. Trust that I have gone before you, preparing silent mercies down roads you have yet to walk. Even now, as you hear these words, my presence surrounds you, inviting patience certain. Allow yourself to be seen, to be known. There is no part of you outside the reach of my embrace. Where you cannot forgive yourself, let me forgive you. Where you cannot find courage, let me strengthen you. My love is not exhausted by your pain. My joy in you is not diminished by your fears or failures. I am ever for you, always with you, leading you homeward into peace, with a future radiant my grace. Each day is a new opportunity to lean into me kindness, to walk forward knowing you are never alone. You and share a journey that does not end with the turning of seasons or the flickers of your doubts. Each new sunrise brings a possibility. My mercies always arrive fresh, never stale. I am attentive to the sighs you scarcely dare touter, the longings you carry quietly. I beneath your practice smiles, the moments you wonder if you fail too often for me to keep opening my arms. Listen closely to the hush between your thoughts. That gentlest reassurance is mine, you are mine. Is not wishful thinking, but my unfailing promise, even as you wander uncertain paths, even when you question what tomorrow holds. I have already stepped into every shadow you will face. I am not waiting for your perfection. I delight to walk beside you here and now in the very realness of your living. At times I sense your frustration when prayers seem to disappear into silence. When you hunger for guidance but feel only the echo of your own voice. My beloved, silence is never absence. In these stretches of quiet, seeds are growing. Your persistence in seeking me even when you can't sense me is itself a holy act. Trust that I am working in the hidden places, deeper than sight or feeling can reach. You are not ignored, you are being shaped. Strengthened, tenderly taught their rhythms of dependence. Note every door that stays closed is rejection. Some are my hand shielding you. rerouting you with compassion you cannot yet fathom. Hold fast, what you now perceive as delay or denial will one day be revealed as care that runs immeasurably deep. You recover your weaknesses, gathering your fears as proof that you are beyond. My patience tallying your missteps as though my love could ever be worn thin. Hear me. My strength is made whole in your neediness. Your frailties are not obstacles to me, but invitations. Call on me when you feel unworthy, when shame tries to persuade you I am withdrawing. I don't recoil from your wounds or turn away from your confusion. The world may assign value based on appearance and achievement, but I see your heart, the raw aching hope that none else notices. Nothing delights me more than bringing healing to what is hidden and restoring what time and disappointment have battered. I do not despise your battles. I wade into them with you. Sometimes you grow weary under the weight of loving others, pouring yourself out and wondering if it matters. If anyone sees, I know every act of kindness you hesitate to call sacrificial. Every moment you choose patience when anger would be easier. When you're tempted to believe gentleness is futile or that forgiveness is wasted, remember that I cherish every small mercy. The world measures greatness in loud victories. I rejoice in the quiet faithfulness of one who keeps choosing compassion. These daily intentions accumulate. Nothing offered in love is ever lost with me. If your service to others feels unseen, resting knowing in Otis, the fruit of your love will outlast any discouragement or disregard. If you have loved and been hurt, trust that I record every tear. I am tender with those who are gentle with the disillusioned. I see the courage it takes to forgive, to trust again after betrayal, to keep longing for connection in a world that can wound. I do not trust your healing. I accompany you every cautious step, blessing fragile hope and breathing peace into trembling hearts. Where you have been misunderstood or left behind, I hold space for your mourning and your starting anew. I gather what you've lost and can create beauty from the very places you assumed nothing good could arise. My ways can be mysterious, and I know the challenge of waiting. Patience is unfamiliar terrain in an impatient world, but you do not walk this terrain alone. You travel with me, guided step by step. When questions press hard and answers seem hidden behind closed doors, trust that I am already where you are going. My guidance will not fail you, even when you perceive only a hint of the path ahead. It is not for you to see with perfect clarity, but to place your trust in the love I continually pour out over your life, even in confusion when beginnings or endings refuse to reveal their shape. I hold your journey in steadfast hands. Do not rely solely on your understanding, for your vision is finite. Let me carry what feels too heavy, and invite me into the places that have not yet known peace. I cherish every struggle you face, even those hidden in secret corners of your soul, far from anyone's view. I do not pull away from me. Our imperfections or treat your failure as defeat. Each time you falter, my compassion gathers you with the same warmth as when you rise. You are not made less by weakness. Rather, I pour strength into your spirit of 10 in ways you cannot predict. While others may judge you by what they see, I hold your true story, a narrative of resilience, grace, and hope renewed at dawn. You are my beloved, not because you have earned it, but because my love is relentless. It creates and recreates you each day. There will be moments when forgiveness feels distant and shame wrap tightly around your heart, yet as a nothing stands between us that I have not already broken down. Come to him with every regret, each wandering thought, and I will teach you what mercy truly means. My forgiveness is no earned by merit or ritual. It is my pure, joyful gift given because I delight in restoration, not condemning. Let goof what you carry. Trust that my heart is tender toward you. When you feel unworthy, let my love set you free from self-judgment. Welcome my embrace as a father welcomes a beloved child. For nothing in heaven or on earth will purse you to stop loving you. In every relationship, every point of connection, I pause with you. You are not alone in loving or in loss, nor are you expected to bear burdens in isolation. Where you offer patience, where you forgive, where kindness costs you, I am beside you, whispering courage. My spirit breathes in acts of compassion, kindling agentless strength that grows in the giving. Where you fail, where sorrow divides, my healing will enterify you, open even as liver of your sorrow to me. I know the complexity of your ties to theirs, how misunderstandings scuten. Deep patience wears thin. I am able to knit together what is torn, trust in me to soften hearts, to give words when none come, to draw light out of estrangement. Lean on me through the tension, and let me teach you to see others as I see them, with the kind of love that chooses mercy again and again. You are seen in your ordinary days, in the unnoticed routines and quiet sacrifices. What you offer in secret, I treasure openly. No labor of love is wasted. No gesture passes me by. When discouragement settles in, and you wonder if your good efforts are fruitless, remember that I am the keeper of what is hidden. I draw meaning out of the smallest kindnesses, blessing them beyond your sight. My kingdom is growing in unseen ways, through gentle words, patient endurance, and faithful love. These are the seeds of goodness that I tend alongside you. Before you move on, write down one small way you will show kindness today. Press forward. Your story is far from finished. Though despair sometimes lies in wait, know that I am a source of living hope, steady and unwavering. I urge you to keep bringing your truth to me, unadorned and honest. My love covers the whole of you, the fragile and the bold, the hungry and the satisfied, the weary and the renewed. Whenever you feel you have reached a limit, speak my name, I will answer you. Not always with easy resolutions, but with the assurance of my presence, my power, and my joy. Rest, knowing that my faithfulness endures your doubts, and my delight in you is not diminished by pain or confusion. My promise stands. You are mine, deeply known, wholly loved, always welcome. I am here. Let your heart lean into me, and bit by bit, let me fill the empty spaces with peace. Beloved, as you walk further on this path, remember that each step you take matters to me. I see your steady movement and trembling hesitations, the moments you dare to hope, and when doubt gathers in quiet corners of your heart. Do not mistake my awareness for distant observation. I am close, breathing grace into your efforts, listening to the unspoken aches that language cannot express. The valleys you pass through and the peaks you long for are all within my gaze. When your resolve falters or uncertainty presses upon you, know that I do not withdraw. I draw nearer still, offering my strength where yours fades. You wrestle with questions, sometimes thinking you must find all the answers before you can trust me fully. Yet I am not waiting for perfect faith from imperfect hearts. I hold out my hand, inviting you to walk and lean on me, even while you wonder and wrestle. I do not begrudge your questions, nor am I angered by your need for reassurance. A parent delights not only in a child's confidence, but also in their searching, in every why and how. And are you really here? I delight in your engagement, because it means you are alive to me, yearning for truth and more of my presence. When you feel small against a world that overwhelms, remember that I am not impressed by grand displays of faith for their own sake. I am moved by a humble heart, honestly confessing its need for me. If your prayers falter or you feel words run dry, your longing still reaches me. Even silence is not empty when it is shared with me, for I know what lives unspoken inside you. I am never impatient with your progress. I am committed to you for all your days, patient beyond measure, constant through every season of belief and question. As you pursue my ways, Do not be discouraged when the fruit you long for does not appear in an instant. Seeds planted in your heart require time to mature and bloom. Growth is deliberate, and transformation takes faithful persistence, more than brilliance or dramatic leaps. My spirit does not measure you by the speed or spectacle of your transformation, but by your willingness to return again and again, to let me shape you moment by moment. Sometimes you will notice your progress, gentler responses, a kinder heart, a new patience. Other times it will seem hidden, but even then I draw out new life in quiet and unseen places. When you struggle with regret, bringing your failures and weakness before me, do not imagine me as cold or withholding forgiveness. My mercy runs deeper than guilt, and my desire is never to shame you, but to heal and lift you into freedom. Each confession is a step toward wholeness, not a cause for punishment. I do not tire of forgiving. I do not grow weary when you come again for grace. My compassion is not exhausted by your need. You cannot wear out my welcome. I count each return to me as precious, even when it carries the weight of old mistakes. Let my grace be your refuge, not your last resort. If pain shadows your days, do not conclude that I am absent, or that your suffering goes unnoticed in the expanse of the world. Nothing escapes my notice, not a sigh, not a single tear. I am with you in your heartache, and my love reaches even into the places of disappointment and grief that others cannot touch. I do not minimize what you endure, nor do I tell you to simply move on. I bear your pain with you, lending my strength to your frailty, offering hope that one day even your deepest wounds can be gathered into a story of redemption. My presence does not promise a life without sorrow, but it does promise companionship, never abandonment. There are moments when the voices of the world grow clamorous, urging you toward things that dazzle for a while, but leave you empty. I ask you to trust that my path, though sometimes quieter and slower in its rewards, holds a far deeper gladness that endures. When you find yourself tempted to pursue approval or comfort that fades, return to me. I will not scold you for being drawn away. Rather, I open my arms even wider, so you might rediscover what you truly need. A love that does not wane, a peace unaffected by circumstance. Let my boundaries be your freedom, and my truth be the anchor of your restless longings. You may look at your life and feel that your contributions are small or unnoticed, especially when compared to others. Do not judge the worth of your days by their outward achievements. I treasure the quiet faithfulness that carries you through ordinary moments, the kindnesses unseen, the sacrifices unrecognized, the prayers whispered for others with no thought of reward. What matters to me is not the scale of your works, but the heart that animates them. Every moment offered in love, no matter how modest, radiates with meaning in my sight. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You are not invisible to me. You are cherished, your story woven into mine with intention and delight. If you find yourself afraid of the future, of loneliness, of mistakes yet to come, take courage in this. I am not confined by time or circumstance. I have already prepared a way for you and will go ahead of you into every unknown. Your fears have no power to drive me away. Rather, let them be the place where you discover my constancy most profoundly. Entrust your apprehensions to me. I do not expect you to live without fear, but I invite you to live with me amidst your fear, trusting that my presence is your reassurance. When you feel you have nothing left to give, I am your enough. Where you reach the end of yourself, I am there, unending, abundant. Through all your striving and resting, your wondering and waiting, I remain the same, never impatient with your doubts or your slow progress, never withdrawing when you struggle or fall. My faithfulness to you has never depended upon your perfection. My promise holds even when your efforts crumble. Come as you are, beloved. The invitation has not changed. I receive you with joy, with tenderness, with a hope for you that will never diminish. Press on, step by step, with the assurance that I am never far, forever walking with you, ever for you. Always love. Beloved, you have harbored questions in your heart about justice. Why suffering seems to crack across the lives of those you love. Why pain so often visits even those who pray in the dark and light alike. Know that I, who see fully while you see in part, am not absent in those moments. I do not stand far off, unmoved by the cries that rise from the depths of your spirit. My compassion for you burns fiercer than the sun that warms your world, and my nearness is your hidden strength. Even in loss. Where you imagine abandonment, I am at work in silence, holding what is too heavy for you, weeping as you weep, lamenting with you in the valley. If someone comes to mind who needs encouragement today, reach out now with a quick message. I'm praying for you. If you press into me, you will find a peace that your mind cannot explain. A gift, not a reward, given precisely when certainty falls away and you tremble with emptiness. I am God, Father and friend, and I do not delight in suffering. Yet from the agony that stabs your days, I am drawing up wells of resilience and compassion that will one day bless others through you. You ask why the world is not free of tragedy if I am good and present. Hear me. This freedom I have given you all is costly, and love cannot exist without it. I did not make you to be machines or mere decorations in creation. You were meant for intimacy, for conversation, and for the risk that comes when two wills meet, yours and mine. The damage you see in the world is not the echo of my absence, but the side effect of a liberty I have given out of love. Yet even now I bend low to redeem what is broken. Nothing takes me by surprise. Nothing is too lost, too marred, too shattered for my mercy to mend. I am close to those who seem to stumble in darkness, who doubt, and who rage against injustice. Your anger and your questions do not offend me. Instead, I gather your confusion as a father gathers a crying child, drawing you near so that you may rest while I carry both your grief and your lack of answers. There are mysteries you may never unravel. Why certain sorrows strike, why some prayers seem to echo back unanswered. It is not for lack of love that I withhold explanations, but because seeing the entire design would overwhelm you and steal from you the wonder and trust that faith produces. Some have suffered at the hands of others, their trust betrayed and innocence wounded. I have seen every moment. I have counted every tear. The pain inflicted by one person on another cuts me as it cuts you. I do not condone evil. I do not turn away. In my Son, I entered your pain, bearing it personally, so you could know that no scar is invisible to me, no story forgotten, and from broken places I bring healing, not always on the timeline or in the way you seek, but always with the constancy of one who loved you before time's first pulse. Your journey through wounds and loss has marked you, but it has not defined you. I speak a better word over every bitterness, a future hope, a gentle mending. I am working even in the ache to form in you endurance and tenderness, making you an agent of comfort for many who have never known kindness. What was intended to destroy you will not have the final word. My love is the final word. Trust that I can sculpt beauty even from the debris of disappointment and despair. What feels irredeemable to you is not out of reach for me. To those who cling to faith with trembling hands, be assured, you are not disqualified by your weakness. I do not measure you by your certainty, but by your willingness to turn to me, to seek, to ask, and sometimes to simply rest. I delight in your courage to wrestle, even when the struggle leaves you wounded. I am not impatient with your doubts or ashamed of your grief. Each moment you open yourself to me, however faltering, I rush to meet you, to fill you with grace anew. I am forming in you a hope that rises above circumstances, that draws breath not from passing ease, but from a relationship with me that suffering cannot sever. I will restore what shame has claimed. I will give rest where exhaustion frays your spirit. The world will try to tell you that heartbreak is purposeless, that loss signals defeat, but I whisper otherwise. In every dark place, I am quietly planting seeds of life that will one day burst into the open, revealing meaning you could not imagine in your current sorrow. Bring me your confusion, your shattered trust, your tired questions. I am big enough. I am gentle enough. Every prayer, whether wordless or desperate, lands with me. You are not alone. Not for a heartbeat. Where you cannot walk, I will carry. Where you cannot hope, I will hope for you. When all light seems gone, let me be the warmth that guides you forward. This is who I am, the one who stoops to heal, the friend who stays, the father who keeps vigil through the longest night. Stay with me. Even now, I am making all things new. I have watched you when your heart was most uncertain, when the shadows seemed longer than your strength, and the horizon was obscured by tears you dared not let fall. Though you sometimes feel isolated, I want you to understand I am closer than your own breath, present in the quiet ache, the unspoken longing, and every shiver of hope that flickers inside you. You do not move through this world unseen or unloved. Before you uttered your first word, I delighted in your existence, and before any darkness touched your days, I knew every light that would dawn for your soul. I have not designed your life to be an endless trial, but as a place where grace can take root in the midst of trial. My love for you does not depend on your courage or your faithfulness. In every hour when you stumble or falter, and in every instant when doubt clouds your conviction, my love is undiminished. I am not like those who abandon you in your failings, or withdraw affection because you fell short. Who you are, your fears, gifts, wounds, and dreams are fully known to me. And still I treasure you. In moments when guilt wraps itself around your heart and whispers that you are beyond forgiveness, listen not to its voice. Look toward me. My mercy flows freely. There is no tally of your errors that could ever outweigh my longing to redeem you. You might look at yourself and see only someone wearied by regret or haunted by the past. But I see my cherished child bound for restoration and wholeness. When you lift your regrets to me, know that I listen with gentleness, and I answer not with scorn but with invitation. Arise, step forward, begin afresh beneath the unshakable shelter of my grace. You might wonder why pain has found you, why prayers have seemed to echo without reply. Hear me now. Suffering is never a measure of your worth or a mark of my absence. In every wound I am present, not in the inflicting, but in the relentless mending. I gather every tear, every ache, and every silent cry is precious, not forgotten. Even in the confusion and messiness of life's tragedies, I work toward healing, always nurturing goodness and newness, even if you do not yet see it. I have planted within you a yearning for meaning that nothing fleeting or shallow can satisfy. There is a purpose vibrating deep in your spirit, a summons to live not for yourself alone, but for love, sacrifice, and restoration. When you sense that restlessness, the urge to reach beyond yourself, that is my hand gently upon your shoulder, urging you onward. I call you to forgive because you have been forgiven. I call you to love because you are beloved. Across the plains of your ordinary days, and within the most profound valleys, my spirit stirs in you the courage to hope, to reconcile, to begin again. Trust does not always spring forward as an effortless leap. I know the effort required to trust when circumstances seem barren, when disappointment overshadows your faith. In those seasons, faith is not some flickering illusion, but the steady hand that reaches for me. Even when you cannot see where the path will lead, I honor that reach. I meet you even in your uncertainty, not demanding perfection, but delighting in your willingness to let me be near. The journey you walk is honored, not for its ease, but for each step taken despite difficulty. There is beauty and persistence and wonder in the ways you continue to open your heart to me and to others, choosing compassion in a world marked so often by harshness. With each act of kindness you grant, even when your own soul is weary, you reflect my heart into the world. What you offer may feel small, an encouraging word, a listening presence, a moment of patience, but through each, my love is carried forward, multiplied beyond imagination. Take a breath now and place your hand on your heart. Say, I am loved, and mean it. If you find yourself longing for sense and solution, know that I do not dismiss your questions. Your struggles and doubts do not repel me. They draw me closer. When you rail against injustice or suffer from the world's brokenness, remember, I share your heartache, and I am always moving toward justice and healing. Even my silence is not absence. It is space for you to discover how truly you are held. Even when answers are slow to come, you are never defined by your failures, your wounds, or the ways others have misunderstood or rejected you. From the moment I imagined your life, I cherished you. I see the enduring goodness I have placed within you, and it cannot be erased. Even on the days you feel least certain or worthy, that goodness remains, a reflection of my own image. Stand in this, bold in your belovedness, and let your worries fall open into my keeping. Each day as you rise and move into the world, I walk with you, not as an indifferent observer, but as one who delights to journey with you in every struggle, every joy, every silent plea. My desire is not for you to hide your wounds or mask your confusion, but to lay open your life before me, trusting that I receive you as you are. Bring me your anxieties, your shattered dreams, your deepest joys. There's nothing too small or too broken for my care. I am making all things new. Even now within you, my presence does not erase hardship, but it transforms your trials into places where hope and renewal spring up. Trust that the path that unfolds before you is never traveled alone. My love is steadfast, my purpose unshaken, and my arms always open. Return again and again. It is my joy to welcome you, inspire you, and carry you forward into all that is truly life. Beloved, the thread of your days weaves forward, shaping each moment with choices both great and small. I walk with you along forest paths and city streets alike, knowing every beat of your heart and every care you hold close. My spirit is never distant, not for an instant. Even when you feel yourself alone or misunderstood, there is much unfolding before you, much that you cannot yet see. But I am the beginning and the end. I hold each hour, each possibility with the warmth of my promise. Trust is often a trembling bridge for you. I know the ache of waiting sometimes presses upon you until hope seems thin. Pain colors your vision. Regret and worry whisper that your missteps may have cast you too far from my grace. But hear me now. My love for you never falters and never retreats. I see every part of you, not only the bright moments or the strengths you show the world, but also your doubts, your failings, the rooms within your soul you keep shuttered. Still, I reach toward you. Nothing you have thought, said, or done can uproot you from my compassion. I am already where you are broken, putting the pieces gently in place long before you are aware of healing beginning. You wonder sometimes what the purpose is behind suffering. Why do I allow it? Why does sorrow touch the innocent, or trouble return even to those who seek me with genuine hearts? Remember that my son did not walk only among the righteous. He sat with the lonely, the weary, and the broken-hearted. When the world turned its back, I stepped in, showing you that my heart is always for you, never against you. When you sense me as distant, remember it is not I who moves away. I am as near to you as your next breath, waiting for you to look up and find my gaze unwavering and full of welcome. Often you judge your days by how much you accomplish, yet I delight in your being, not your doing. Like the lilies of the field that neither toil nor spin, and yet are clothed with splendor, so you are treasured for who you are in my sight. Let your worth rest not in what you manage to achieve, but in the truth that my love for you is constant and cannot be diminished by your mistakes or your weakness. When shame or regret tries to cloud your view, hear me clearly. You are forgiven. You belong to me, and nothing can separate you from my affection. If you're carrying a name or burden right now, speak it softly to me, aloud or in your heart, and let it go into my hands. There will be storms and there will be darkness. When you cannot trace my hand, trust my heart. For even in what seems senseless or unredeemable, I am at work with gentle hands, drawing forth life from ashes, turning even wounds into wells of compassion. When you grieve, know that I grieve with you. Your tears matter to me. When you long for joy that seems just out of reach, I whisper reminders that I am the author of hope, the faithful giver whose mercies are new each morning. Even when the night drags long, dawn will come because I have spoken it. My promises are not fragile. They are everlasting, held steady beyond the reach of doubt. You are not expected to carry the weight of the world. Bring your anxieties to me. You are invited to lay your burdens down because I care for you. In that act of release, you make room for my peace to enter. My peace does not merely cover over fear, but roots itself deeper, becoming a wellspring that sustains you in turmoil and uncertainty. Let each moment of surrender remind you that you are not alone on this path. I journey with you, never impatient, never losing sight of the good I intend to bring forth in your days. Let me shape your desires. Trust that I am more committed to your growth, your wholeness, and your highest joy than you ever could be. There are seasons when your prayers seem unanswered. and you wonder if I hear you. Know that my silence is not absence. I am always present, working within the mystery to bring forth what is best, even when the outcome is not what you expect. Sometimes I withhold immediate answers because I am leading your heart into deeper trust, removing the fear that you must fend for yourself. You are not forgotten. Your voice moves me, and I hold every longing close. I ask you to forgive as you have been forgiven. I know this does not diminish your hurt, but it lifts the pain into my hands where I can bring healing. I see the injustice, and it is not unseen or ignored. I call you to forgive so that bitterness cannot entangle your spirit and keep you captive. In releasing others, you find the freedom that I desire for you. Grace is not a license for harm, but the open door for new beginnings, the birthplace of reconciliation and peace. If there is someone you are holding on to anger toward, name them in your heart and then breathe out the resentment. If you can, take one small step toward release today. Come to me when you cannot forgive, and I will give you what you lack. You wonder about your future, about plans and direction. Seek me not only for answers, but for relationship. I desire to walk with you, to be known by you, not just to solve your problems, but to become your foundation and source of life. My spirit within you is the counselor who guides gently, sometimes in quiet nudges, sometimes with clarity that cannot be denied. Trust the process of becoming, even when you cannot see the full path ahead. I am with you every step, shaping your story with wisdom far beyond your understanding. In the simple, the mundane, and even the disappointing, my presence is there. I do not wait for grand gestures to meet you. Every moment is an opportunity for communion with me. Remember, I rejoice over you with singing. I do not tire of your questions, and I do not grow weary of your struggles. Your life is precious to me in all its complexity and imperfection. Let your heart return to me again and again, not as an obligation, but as a child who knows they are welcome in their father's arms. My patience outlasts your wandering. My goodness is not rationed, and my faithfulness is not limited by your failures. Come as you are. Let me fill you, heal you, and send you forth each day with courage rooted in my love. For by my hand you are held, and in my light you are made whole. From the very first spark of your existence, I have watched over you, neither distracted nor distant, but fully present with every heartbeat, with every wonder and ache that has colored your days. You have searched for meaning through questions that burn quietly in the night, and through the longing that tugs at your soul. I am not moved by your strength alone, nor am I dismayed at your frailty. I embrace you, knowing both the heights you will reach and the depths into which you sometimes wander. I am not a silent observer, but the one who gently supports you, whispering courage when you think your steps falter, and assuring you that even in confusion, you do not walk alone. Your heart sometimes wonders whether I am truly attentive, whether my love is reserved only for those you believe are more worthy, more faithful, or more hopeful. Cast aside that fear. My attention does not waver. It is not the magnitude of your faith or the polish of your goodness that draws me. It is your very being, your vulnerability, your yearning. I see the ways you strive, how hard you try to do what is right, even as you fear stumbling again. I see the secret disappointments you wrap tightly inside, hoping they might wither away unnoticed. Yet even these I hold tenderly. I never recoil from your pain or mistakes. Instead, I draw near with gentle compassion, lifting you up, inviting you to trust once more. You sometimes hear voices insisting that you must earn my approval, that my nearness depends on your performance. Let that burden fall. My love for you is a foundation, not a reward. Before you achieved, before you believed, I loved you and called you by name. My arms of mercy remain open and steadfast. Even when you find it difficult to accept grace, especially when you are tempted to withdraw in shame, come closer. There is no corner of your heart that is hidden from me, nor is there any wound too deep for my healing. Your story, every moment of doubt, fear, and hope matters to me. In your hesitation, I wait patiently. When you dare approach, I welcome you without reproach. You have moments of triumph, times when the light within you shines bright and you sense a joy that is almost too large for words. Rejoice in these, for your gladness delights me. And in the days when sorrow dims your spirit and gratitude feels far away, know that you are no less precious to me. I gather your tears and bear witness to the grief you sometimes keep buried. There is no shame in your pain. It does not disqualify you from my delight. Rather, I walk alongside you, offering rest when you are exhausted, gently pointing you toward hope. Even in the long shadows, paths will twist. There are seasons when answers elude you, and when certainty feels unreachable. It is not in perfect understanding that you will find peace, but in trusting that I am with you, constant in ways the world cannot provide. I see how deeply you wish to make good choices, how you wrestle with the weight of your responsibilities and the uncertainties that often mark your journey. Do not be afraid to seek my guidance. Call out to me. Speak to me, not in formal speech if that feels distant, but as a beloved speaks to one who cherishes them. I know the language of your heart, every sigh and every silence. I am not unmoved by your weakness. When you falter or lose your way, know that my forgiveness is not a reluctant concession, but a generous outpouring. I delight in restoring you. True repentance is not about self-loathing or relentless striving to make up for your failings, but a turning toward me, a return to relationship. I do not lord guilt over you. I seek your freedom. Lay your burdens down. Bring your regrets to me and let the certainty of my mercy calm your fears. And when you wonder about your place in the world, your value and purpose, remember that you are my creation, chosen and cherished, not for what you produce, but for who you are, uniquely shaped by my love, given gifts not for comparison, but for joy and service in your own way. Do not measure yourself against the lives of others. Your path is yours, and I rejoice in every step you take toward truth and kindness. Sometimes the smallest acts, quiet patience, willing forgiveness, persistent hope, carry greater beauty than any grand gesture. Trust that living in love, even in obscurity, has profound worth. I do not promise that your journey will be without sorrow or difficulty, but I do promise that you will never be abandoned. In darkness, I am your comfort and light. In confusion, I offer wisdom and peace. When the world disappoints you or your own heart condemns you, my voice remains steadfast. You are beloved. You are mine always. No force, no circumstance, no failing can sever the bond I have chosen in love. Invite me into your ordinary days, the laughter with friends, the quiet of your solitude, the questions that haunt you. I am nearer than you believe, eager to share in every part. There may come times when you wonder if your prayers matter, when silence seems like absence. Remember, I am attentive even to your wordless cries, holding you through every uncertainty. Patience is not punishment. Sometimes it is the gentle pace by which gifts blossom, unseen and slow. Trust in my faithfulness. Dare to hope, to dream, to imagine goodness in your future. My plans for you are not rigid scripts, but invitations to walk with me, shape your life with me, and know deep peace. Let your heart rest in the security of my affection. Wake to each day assured you are seen, surrounded, and safe in my keeping. You are never forsaken. With every sunrise, you have another opportunity to live in freedom, to embrace mercy, to discover reasons for gratitude yet again. As you walk forward, remember I walk with you, delighting in every faltering step, urging you onward, never tiring of being your guide, your refuge, your closest companion. I have watched you wrestle with questions that weigh heavily upon your heart, sometimes feeling as though clarity forever lies just beyond your grasp. Know this, I have not hidden myself from you. Every honest inquiry, every searching tear draws you closer to the embrace of my presence. I bless your longing to understand, for it is in sincere seeking that love deepens and trust grows. You are not judged for your doubts, but cherished as you bring them into the light. Just as a child reaches for the hand of a loving parent when lost or afraid, let your uncertainty become an invitation to enter into deeper communion with me. Faith is not the absence of questions, but the courage to walk with me even when answers are incomplete. In those moments when the future seems obscured, remember that I am already there, the author of what has been and the caretaker of what will be. Time flows only one direction for you, but I see the expanse of your days at once, not with detachment, but with the deepest loving attention to every hope and worry you carry. When you feel your heart quicken with anxiety over what lies ahead, breathe and rest in me. I am not only present at the end of your journey, but within each step you now take. Trust is cultivated not by seeing the horizon clearly, but by fixing your gaze on me in the uncertainty of each rising dawn. Your pain has never gone unnoticed. Those nights when you wondered if anyone could possibly understand the ache within you, I was nearer than your breath. I received every sigh, every prayer too raw to utter aloud. Even when you have felt abandoned, I have counted your sorrows and held them as sacred. Compassion is not just something I give, it is who I am. My love is tender, attentive, and unchanging. Whether you feel strong or utterly undone, there is nothing wasted, not even the most hidden grief. For I work even in the silence to bring forth hope from the soil of your trials. You ask how you can make a difference, surrounded by a world spinning with need, strife, and longing for meaning. Know that I do not measure your significance by the grandness of your deeds, but by the openness of your heart. Every small kindness you offer becomes part of my work to renew creation. When you forgive a friend, comfort a stranger, or choose gentleness over anger, you participate in my transforming love. You may never see the full fruit of your faithfulness, but I rejoice in every self-giving act. Let your life be shaped by love, not fear of failing. For I am at work within you, making rivers flow in dry places and sowing peace wherever your feet tread. There will be seasons when hardship presses close, when all your effort seems swallowed up by weariness. In these times, do not mistake your exhaustion for abandonment. I do not disdain your limitations, nor am I impatient with your struggles. I formed you with care, giving you a spirit that is both resilient and finite. Come to me as you are, not as you think you ought to be. Rest is my gift, not a reward you must earn. Lay down your burdens in my presence. Let my gentleness calm the storm within you. I take no pleasure in seeing you strive alone. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. You need not pretend before me. Honesty is the gateway to renewal. When you encounter friends or strangers whose pain unsettles your peace, do not turn your eyes away. You share in my image, and so does the one you find difficult to understand or love. I call you deeper. See with my eyes, listen with my heart. Make space at your table for those whom the world disregards. If you worry your love is too small, remember that I delight in magnifying what is given freely. In your acts of welcome and compassion, my kingdom quietly grows. My spirit moves uniquely in each life you touch, often in ways unseen. Do not let the enormity of the world's needs diminish your willingness. You are my hands and voice here, and I am with you in every gesture of mercy. There will be times when confusion or hardship makes you question whether you are truly known or beloved. Rest assured, I have named you and claimed you before you uttered your first word. Nothing can erase your worth. My faithfulness does not depend on your feelings, your performance, or the shifting circumstances around you. When you fall short, do not hide in shame, but turn toward me. Confession is not for my sake, but for yours. A healing grace I freely offer, a way to let go of burdens and begin again. My welcome never grows cold. I receive every return with open arms and rejoice over you as my cherished child. When your heart yearns for justice and when you grieve over cruelty and darkness, know that your longing echoes my own. I have set eternity in your heart so that you might hunger for what is good, true, and beautiful. Yet I know you live in the tension between promise and fulfillment, seeing glimpses of wholeness, yet surrounded by brokenness. Take heart. I am at work even now, restoring what has been shattered, drawing forth light from the deepest shadow. I call you not to lose hope, but to persevere, to trust that nothing is too ruined for my love to redeem. Stay faithful in the ordinary, for holiness grows in unseen places. The prayers you whisper in the quiet, the courage you summon to forgive, the joy you bring by lifting up the weary, each of these is precious to me. My kingdom is not confined to the extraordinary. It accompanies you through the mundane rhythms of each day. Where you bring kindness, patience, and humility, there I am, sanctifying your life and those you encounter. Let your burdens be lightened as you remember. You work and walk in my love, and nothing can separate you from it. I am near to you, closer than your own heartbeat. When you are ready to listen beyond the noise, you will discover my voice has never been silenced. My guidance is gentle but sure, a steadying hand when you fear falling. Do not be anxious over whether you are doing enough or praying correctly. What I cherish is not perfection, but presence. Be with me. Abide in my love and trust that I am eternally, immeasurably for you. Beloved, I have never turned my gaze from you, not through your wildest wanderings, nor in those quiet dawns when despair has stilled your spirit. There have been days when you felt me distant, yet I have always been closer than your breath, quietly tending each fragile hope you dared to clutch. When storms have pressed around you and the world protested your longing for peace, I have held firm within you a promise. You are never abandoned. I formed you for more than mere survival. I breathed my own vitality into your being so that beyond every shadow, my love would call you forward. Not the world's version of love, dependent on your merit or your moods, but a love that holds fast whether you run to me or away. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I see every unspoken cry and every hurt you've tucked from sight. There are moments your heart aches with questions that have no words, and still I listen, understanding even what you cannot express. I am the one who gathers the tears you shed in darkness and remembers the laughter others forgot. Nothing you feel, fear, or face is hidden from me. There is room in my heart for all of you. You have doubted if my patience could endure your anger or your failings. But hear me. No failure has ever frightened me away. Through every mistake, my compassion reaches, teaching you to trust not in your own strength, but in my unwavering nearness. You often mark your journey by your wounds, forgetting that I have been writing hope into the very places you thought were ruined. I am patient with the slow unfolding that healing requires. Never do I despise your weakness or your confusion. As you wrestle with faith and doubt, I do not withhold my presence. Even when you silence yourself out of shame, my word calls you by name, tender yet strong. I desire your honesty far more than your perfection. When you risk exposing your deepest fears to me, you discover that I have already made space for them. I hold them and I reshape them with love. Your life is neither unnoticed nor insignificant to me. Every ordinary task and hidden act of kindness, those moments you think pass unseen, are precious in my sight. Nothing is wasted. My spirit moves in the details. I marvel not only at your strength, but also at the courage it takes to rise again after disappointment. When guilt threatens to chain you, remember the cross was never about your worthiness, but about my longing to lift every weight from your soul. I forgive you not as an obligation, but as a delight, because nothing brings me greater joy than welcoming you home again and again. Let my words settle in the places where despair whispers that you are alone. You belong to me. Your questions do not repel me. Your struggles do not exhaust me. There will be seasons of waiting when answers seem distant and my timing feels relentless. In these times, trust that I am with you, growing you in ways you cannot yet see. Do not measure my love by the shape of your current suffering. I am present both in the ache and in the joy, committed to your wholeness more deeply than you could ever imagine. When you hunger for reassurance, remember how I shaped the lilies and clothed the sparrows. How much more do I care for you? When your failures echo louder than your hopes, rest in my promise. Nothing can separate you from my love, not fear, not shame, not the mistakes stacked high in your memory. Each new day bears my invitation. Begin again with me. I craft meaning out of every chapter, even those pages you wish you could erase. I am not finished working in you. Every breath is charged with the possibility of my grace. Come to me as you are, heavy with your burdens or light with joy. I am never weary of your company. If you have been taught to be silent before me, unlearn it. My ears are always open, my arms always extended. Even when you cannot find words, your silent longings are understood. I walk beside you, not as a distant judge, but as a loving father whose deepest desire is relationship. I pursue you out of delight, not disappointment, shaping you more gently than the world would believe possible. Let faith find its footing, not in certainty, but in raw, honest trust. When you cannot see the way ahead, lean into me. There is no darkness I have not overcome. I am ever drawing you toward hope. When weariness settles like dusk, remember every ending you fear is in my hands, a beginning still hidden from your view. My purpose for you is not thwarted by the detours or delays that trouble you. Hear me. Your story, with all its jagged edges, is precious. You were made for belonging, for love that will not let go. Do not despise your weakness. My strength is most radiant there. In your emptiness, I pour fullness. In your confusion, I offer peace that breaks through even the hardest questions. My delight over you has never wavered. Trust in my presence rather than the shifting evidence of circumstances. I am the one who holds you steady when all else falters. My faithfulness is the anchor beneath every uncertainty. Walk with me, not because you must earn my favor, but because your heart was made to know me. You are seen, you are loved beyond measure. No part of your story is beyond my reach. No night so deep that my light does not find you. Even now I am working in you, for you, and through you. Rest, child. Let grace do what striving cannot. I am and always will be more than enough for you. Beloved child, you wonder why my response to your life's pain sometimes seems wrapped in silence, why I allow the shadows to linger. Your questions reach me, never lost in the darkness, and I hold each one close, for your longing is precious to me. What you call silence is often my invitation and urging for you to lean closer, to let me meet you not just in answers, but in the sacred, difficult space of waiting. In this stillness, my love is as present and active as when my voice thunders on mountaintops. I never abandon you to emptiness. Even when you feel unseen, my attention surrounds you more deeply than your senses can grasp. You may look at your suffering and conclude, I am far away, but I assure you, I am nearer than your breath. The very ache in your soul is a sign that you long for wholeness, something I have planted within you since the beginning. When tears fall, remember that I gather each one, never dismissing your sorrow as trivial or misplaced. I do not grow weary of your grief or grow cold when you voice your anger. Bring me your whole self, joy and fear, faith and doubt alike. I came in weakness and pain so I might embrace you in yours, walking every valley by your side. Consider the moments when you least expected comfort, the kindness of a friend, a brief wash of hope, the quiet strength that rose up within you. These are not accidents. They are love letters from my heart, reminders that even in brokenness, you are held together by a love that will not let you go. I do not delight in your wounds or the world's cruelty, and every bruise upon your spirit stirs me. Though evil and death still cast their shadow for a time, I have pledged myself to overcome all that harms you. My power is not always seen in the sudden reversal of all hardship, but often in the quiet endurance and transformation taking root within you. The miracle you seek is not always escape, but the courage and compassion being formed as you walk through trial. Every time you extend mercy in the face of pain, you echo my own heart. I do not despise your frailty, I call it precious, for through it, you learn how deeply dependent you are on me and how fully I am devoted to you. Let my patience become your refuge. I am not anxious about your journey, nor am I threatened by your confusion. You are still learning to trust, still unfolding into the fullness I created for you. Do not despise small beginnings or slow healing. A bruised reed I will not break, nor will I snuff out a smoldering wick. What you see as failure or stagnation, I often see as space for deeper roots to grow. Where you see only delay, I am nurturing the quiet fruit of perseverance, the kind that can weather every storm. Remember, too, that you do not walk alone. There are others sharing your burdens, their lives intertwined with yours in ways you cannot yet imagine. Every act of compassion flows from my life within you into the wounds of the world. When you experience healing at the hands of another, know that it is my touch reaching through theirs. Allow yourself to be comforted as well as to comfort. Independence is not the measure of spiritual maturity, but the willingness to receive as freely as you give. I call you to rest, not because your work is unimportant, but because I delight in you even when you are still. Let your striving give way to trust, for I am the shepherd who never slumbers. When anxiety presses in, let my presence be your stronghold. Present your needs to me, yes, and know also that my heart is already tender toward every weakness, attentive to every silent plea. I miss nothing. I withhold nothing good from those who come to me with open hearts. When hope runs thin, recall the promises I have spoken over you. My word does not falter in the winds of your uncertainty. The same voice that called stars into being also names you beloved and heir. Nothing you face can undo the claim I have set upon your life, nor the home I am preparing for you. Though you cannot see all I am working out in the unseen depths, trust that in every hidden moment, my goodness is at work, forging something beyond what you could craft on your own. Let your sorrow bring you near to me, not because you must mask your tears, but because I weep with you and pledge myself to your healing. In your darkest hours, when you wonder if I am absent, remember that I have tasted loss and betrayal, loneliness and death. I did not stand far off, but entered the world's brokenness to open the way home, so that nothing, no grief, no failure, no shadow could separate you from my love. Even now, I am carrying you when your strength is gone and breathing hope where despair would claim the final word. So stay near, beloved, and let your questions deepen your conversation with me. You need not fear what is yet unresolved, for I am shepherding you through confusion into clarity, through silence into song. Rest in my arms when you tire. Take courage when you must rise. And remember, you are seen, cherished, and never forsaken. Await the dawn, for I am making all things new. My steadfast love surrounds you this very moment. Nothing can snatch you from my embrace. Reach out once this day. Send a brief message of kindness to someone, an encouragement, a prayer, a simple, "I'm thinking of you." Be the touch of grace. Beloved, the quiet spaces between your thoughts are not empty. In every pause, in every moment when you fear you are adrift, I am with you. Do not measure my love by the clarity of your days or the straightforwardness of your path. My presence is not a condition of your perception, but a certainty of my eternal nature. I am as close to you in confusion as I am in your moments of peace. When torrents of doubt surge, when shadows linger at the edge of your hope, I gather you as surely as I gather you in delight. Your struggles do not repel me, rather, they call forth my compassion in even greater fullness. When you lie awake, burdened by regret, longing to undo words spoken in haste, or choices shaped by fear, let your soul rest. I have not tethered your worth to perfect decisions. Nothing surprises me, not your missteps, nor your yearning to become more than you know how to be. Every moment of remorse is already enveloped in my merciful understanding. Turn your heart toward me, not in shame, but with the trust of a child returning home. My welcome has never faltered. I delight in every sincere glance your way and every feeble prayer, regardless of how unworthy you think yourself to be. I see you as you are and as you are becoming. Your weaknesses do not disgust me. Rather, they are the very places I seek to fill with my unyielding strength. Let your failures draw you nearer, not drive you further. The lessons that emerge from your broken places are not punishments, but gentle invitations to receive more of what only I can give. Unshakable peace, courageous hope, patient perseverance. I hold nothing back from you. Even your darkest struggles, persistent wounds, stubborn habits, and silent frustrations are not hidden from my gaze. Bring them to me without fear, for my arms remain open. Here you are safe. Here transformation is not a harsh demand, but a loving promise. You worry sometimes that your questions offend me, that honest confusion or disappointment will distance us. Know this, I am not wary of your doubts. Speak your wondering aloud. I would rather you bring your deepest uncertainties to me than hide them behind practiced words or gestures of faith you think I require. I have searched the whole of your heart, and I am present even where you fear your faith is weak. It is not the perfection of your belief that matters, but your willingness to entrust even that imperfection to me. I am patient with your slow understanding, gentle with your mixed motives, steadfast in your wandering. There is nothing in you that causes me hesitation. I do not love the future version of you more than I love you now. My love does not wait for your maturity, your achievements, or the outward signs of spiritual success. The love I pour into you is itself the seed from which growth springs. Open yourself to it, even if you cannot see its fruit. Do not rush to prove your worthiness. Rest and allow the good I begin in you to unfold in my time. You are not running behind. You have not failed my plan by faltering. My purposes are never thwarted by human weakness. Where you see obstacles, I see openings for grace. Where you encounter disappointment, I am already at work reshaping your story for hope. Let your prayers rise to me unpolished and vulnerable. I am not waiting for eloquence nor wisdom, but a heart honest in its need. When you have only silent tears, or all that escapes you is a wordless groan, know that I receive it as precious. My spirit dwells with you, interpreting what you cannot express and gently placing it before me. You are heard. You are understood more truly than you can imagine. Your sorrows are not strange to me. Each one is gathered into mine. I have made myself vulnerable to human suffering out of boundless affection for you. In the agony and joy of your being, I am fully present. You may wonder when relief will come, how your burdens will be lifted, or why some prayers seem unanswered. These mysteries pain you, and I do not trivialize your longing for healing. Trust that nothing you offer is in vain. There is a purpose even when the answers remain hidden. There is a richness that grows in the soil of trust, a strength seated in every surrender. I do not relish your suffering, nor turn away from it indifferently. My comfort is not an escape, but the courage to face your days knowing you are never forsaken. When you cannot trace the outline of my hand, lean into the assurance of my heart. Recall the times you have been sustained unexpectedly, the small mercies that carried you through hours you feared you could not withstand. These are reminders that I am at work in ways beyond your reckoning. My faithfulness is not measured only by what you receive, but also by the unseen protection, wisdom, and peace that surrounds every breath you take. Trust grows not only in abundance, but also in want. Your heart is made resilient, not by the absence of pain, but by the ongoing presence of my love as you walk through each valley. Hold fast to me, not as a last resort, but as your first refuge. My dreams for you are more expansive than those you have dared to consider for yourself. I delight to draw out the goodness within you, nurturing hidden gifts and unexpected joy. Every risk you take in love, every step of forgiveness, every act of courage is celebrated by me. Do not compare the pace of your journey to others. I tend each soul uniquely with attentiveness that never wavers. Your failures, your triumphs, your laughter, and your tears all matter deeply to me. Above all, remember you are cherished without condition. My delight in you is constant, my gaze unwavering. I beckon you to trust, to bring your whole self, flawed, questioning, expectant, to me. Nothing you face will erase my promise to remain. Stay close and let your heart learn the rhythms of my faithfulness. In every season, my love anchors you, calling you deeper into the confidence that no shadow, no silence, and no storm can overshadow the light I have given you. Keep your heart open, for I am with you always. I see how your heart yearns for a touch, a word, a clear sign that you are known and cherished beyond doubt. Listen closely, for I am nearer than your breath, present as you open your eyes to each new morning, and present when shadows press close. You have called out to me in moments of hunger and moments of joy, in the silence when worries parade through your mind. I have never turned away from your voice. My gaze does not pass over your needs, nor am I deaf to the silent questions you never dare speak aloud. I hear the tremor in your prayers, the uncertainty and the hope braided together. Trust that I gather even your hesitations into my care. You think sometimes that your flaws or failures build a barrier between us, but nothing you face within yourself, a harsh word spoken, a moment you wish you could reclaim, can outdistance my mercy. My love is not measured by your performance, but pours forth from who I am. My faithfulness never wavers according to your mood or capacity. In your despair and your rejoicing, in your restlessness and your peace, I am constant, unwavering. My grace is lavish, washing over your regrets, awakening you to new possibility with every breath. I am not a distant ruler keeping score or demanding tribute. I am the Father who kneels beside you, who walks the road with you when you are weary or afraid. I enter your loneliness with you. I share in your laughter, your dreams, your simple delights. The world may make you feel invisible or unworthy, but in my eyes, you are precious. Before you spoke a word aloud, I cherished you. Long before your first tears or the scars you carry, I beheld you and called you beloved. My affirmation of you does not rest upon your perfection, but upon my eternal promise, a promise I sealed with my own sacrifice so you could rest secure. When storms gather and noise assaults your spirit, withdraw into the quiet of my presence. There, let your heart beat in tempo with mine. You were made to know me not just as a concept or a distant force, but as the source of your being, the one who shaped your longing for love and meaning. Every part of your journey, every hope deferred, every wound, every victory, becomes the ground where I meet you. Do not hide your fear from me. Bring it into the light. For in the warmth of my embrace, fear loses its sting, and your soul discovers courage unfelt before. I whisper through beauty, the song of the birds at dawn, the laughter of children, the steady rhythm of the ocean's tide. I also speak in the stillness when all lights are dimmed and you are left with your thoughts. Open yourself in these moments and you will find me attentive. I draw close not to judge, but to comfort and to guide. My desire is not to burden you with more rules, but to draw you into living communion with me, a joy that we share, a relationship that deepens without end. Release the false burdens you carry, worry for tomorrow, regret for the past, the urge to prove your worth. Rest instead in the assurance that you belong. When you stumble, lean into my mercy. When you strive, remember that I am already pleased by your courage to hope. And when you cannot see a way forward, trust that I am working quietly, weaving redemption from even the tangled places of your days. My purposes are often hidden from your sight, but that does not mean you have been abandoned. I am doing new things within you, growing resilience, opening your heart wide, teaching you trust that transcends what you can understand. Nothing delights me more than your honest presence. Come to me in moments of chaos as readily as in moments of calm. Speak openly. I delight in the truth of your heart. Even when words falter or feelings contradict each other, my spirit moves gently within you, whispering hope and strengthening your resolve. There will be days when the world feels too heavy, when questions multiply and answers seem scarce. Then remember my invitation to come not as a stranger, but as a dear child. In your weakness, I am strong. In your confusion, I offer wisdom. In your longing, I satisfy. Consider the love that called you into being. It is not fragile or fleeting. My care for you goes deeper than the deepest sorrow, higher than your most soaring joy. With me, there is always a path onward. Even in the midnight valleys, new mercies await at every dawn. Take heart, for I go before you, and I walk beside you. You are never alone. Not now, not ever. My love will carry you through every season, giving you strength to hope and the freedom to live with an open heart. Receive this gift, for it is yours forever. Beloved, you have journeyed with me through silence and through storm, asking, aching, hopeful in the darkness and in the glow. I have been near with each breath you have taken, nearer than the blood that courses within your veins, speaking not only in ancient words, but through the quiet longing you feel when the world hushes around you. There is no moment in which I am absent. I hear you even in those questions you do not voice aloud, those half-formed hopes and the confessions you barely dare to whisper to yourself. I know the weariness that sometimes settles on your shoulders like a weight you cannot name, and I do not condemn you for the heaviness or the wondering. When you turn your gaze toward me, I do not move away. My presence anchors beneath your uncertainty, waiting only for your acknowledgement, not for a perfect faith, but for a simple willingness. You are free to rage, to doubt, to bring your confusion before me. I do not shy from your pain or feel threatened by your sorrow. There is no thought or feeling in you that is too frail or too flawed for me to hold. I ask you only for your honesty, for your real, unfiltered self. Come to me with the brokenness that you fear will estrange you from my love, because that is exactly where I meet you. All the burdens that you attempt to carry alone, your regrets, your guilt, your exhaustion, they are never too much for me. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Do not suppose that you must earn my approval or perform some ritual to uncurl my compassion. My love does not tally your failures nor withhold itself until you have achieved a state of faultlessness. You could search the pages of your past, scouring for reasons to justify your welcome in my presence. But the truth is that you are welcome because I have chosen to love you utterly and without reservation since before you drew your first breath. My mercy is not a reward for those with unblemished records. It is my gift freely given. What I long for is relationship with you, a living, honest friendship in which nothing is hidden and nothing is impossible. As you move forward, fixing your eyes on what might be and what you wish could change, remember that I am not merely the observer of your life. I am its author, intimately involved in every unfolding moment. I do not simply wait at the conclusion of your struggles, cheering when you finally arrive. I am in the very midst of every struggle with you, sustaining you quietly, laboring alongside your strivings. When you feel weak or falter beneath expectation, my strength does not waver. I am not disappointed when you struggle. Instead, I gently lift you, reassuring you that my delight in you does not depend upon your unfailing progress, but on my unshakable affection. There will be seasons that test your endurance, times when prayers feel like echoes carried off by the wind and answers seem elusive. In those times, resist the urge to assume that I am far from you. My silence is never abandonment. I sometimes allow you to experience longing so that when my comfort comes, you recognize how deep and real it is. I will never forsake you, not for a moment. Even in your confusion, even when your questions multiply, my arms encircle you. The pain you bear, I share. The hunger for hope that stirs in you, I recognize, for I placed it there, and I promise to satisfy it in ways more profound than you can imagine. Bring your longing to me. Let your hope, however fragile, find its rest in my faithfulness. Your story is not finished, and the days ahead hold glimpses of renewal. I am crafting within you a heart that can weather trouble, that knows how to extend grace both to yourself and others. Trust that the work I am doing, sometimes slow, sometimes silent, is never wasted. Even when you do not perceive growth, my spirit is nourishing you in unseen ways. The patience I ask of you is not a dull waiting, but the confident trust of a child in the presence of a loving parent, knowing that even delays are woven with purpose. Let yourself see the world through the eyes of my compassion. As you grow to experience the depths of my love, allow it to overflow into the way you move through each day. The people you encounter, the small and ordinary moments, they matter to me just as you do. Your kindness, your willingness to forgive, the courage to hope for someone else, these are not small things. This is how you echo my heart in the world, carrying my love beyond words and into tangible acts. You do not do so alone, for I myself am with you, an abiding presence empowering your every effort, working through you even when you feel most inadequate. Nothing you face can separate you from me. Not setbacks, nor failures, nor seasons of despair. When you are lost, I am the hand reaching to guide you home. When you are overwhelmed by grief, I am the comfort that surpasses what words can soothe. When you are joyful, celebrate and remember every good gift in your life is a sign of my delight in you. Live your days not anxiously striving for perfection, but resting in the certainty that you are cherished just as you are, and that I am always at work both for you and in you. so do not be afraid to step forward even if the way is uncertain. I accompany you into every unknown. Your hope is safe here. Your pain is seen. The journey is not about reaching me, but about walking with me moment by moment, heart open, honest and unafraid. I hold you close, and in my love there is no darkness that you and I cannot overcome together. Before you rise from this moment, place your hand over your heart. Say slowly, I am beloved, I am held. Carry that truth into the day and let it shape one choice you make. Beloved, the quiet spaces between your thoughts are not empty. In every pause, in every moment when you fear you are adrift, I am with you. Do not measure my love by the clarity of your days or the straightforwardness of your path. My presence is not a condition of your perception, but a certainty of my eternal nature. I am as close to you in confusion as I am in your moments of peace. When torrents of doubt surge, when shadows linger at the edge of your hope, I gather you as surely as I gather you in delight. Your struggles do not repel me. Rather, they call forth my compassion in even greater fullness. When you lie awake, burdened by regret, longing to undo words spoken in haste or choices shaped by fear, let your soul rest. I have not tethered your worth to perfect decisions. Nothing surprises me, not your missteps, nor your yearning to become more than you know how to be. Every moment of remorse is already enveloped in my merciful understanding. Turn your heart toward me, not in shame, but with the trust of a child returning home. My welcome has never faltered. I delight in every sincere glance your way and every feeble prayer, regardless of how unworthy you think yourself to be. I see you as you are, and as you are becoming. Your weaknesses do not disgust me. Rather, they are the very places I seek to fill with my unyielding strength. Let your failures draw you nearer, not drive you further. The lessons that emerge from your broken places are not punishments, but gentle invitations to receive more of what only I can give. Unshakable peace, courageous hope, patient perseverance. I hold nothing back from you. Even your darkest struggles, persistent wounds, stubborn habits, and silent frustrations are not hidden from my gaze. Bring them to me without fear, for my arms remain open. Here you are safe. Here transformation is not a harsh demand, but a loving promise. You worry sometimes that your questions offend me, that honest confusion or disappointment will distance us. Know this, I am not wary of your doubts. Speak your wondering aloud. I would rather you bring your deepest uncertainties to me than hide them behind practiced words or gestures of faith you think I require. I have searched the whole of your heart, and I am present even where you fear your faith is weak. It is not the perfection of your belief that matters, but your willingness to entrust even that imperfection to me. I am patient with your slow understanding, gentle with your mixed motives, steadfast in your wandering. There is nothing in you that causes me hesitation. I do not love the future version of you more than I love you now. My love does not wait for your maturity, your achievements, or the outward signs of spiritual success. The love I pour into you is itself the seed from which growth springs. Open yourself to it, even if you cannot see its fruit. Do not rush to prove your worthiness. Rest and allow the good I begin in you to unfold in my time. You are not running behind. You have not failed my plan by faltering. My purposes are never thwarted by human weakness. Where you see obstacles, I see openings for grace. Where you encounter disappointment, I am already at work reshaping your story for hope. Let your prayers rise to me unpolished and vulnerable. I am not waiting for eloquence nor wisdom, but a heart honest in its need. When you have only silent tears, or all that escapes you is a wordless groan, know that I receive it as precious. My spirit dwells with you, interpreting what you cannot express and gently placing it before me. You are heard. You are understood more truly than you can imagine. Your sorrows are not strange to me. Each one is gathered into mine. I have made myself vulnerable to human suffering out of boundless affection for you. In the agony and joy of your being, I am fully present. You may wonder when relief will come, how your burdens will be lifted, or why some prayers seem unanswered. These mysteries pain you, and I do not trivialize your longing for healing. Trust that nothing you offer is in vain. There is a purpose even when the answers remain hidden. There's a richness that grows in the soil of trust, a strength seated in every surrender. I do not relish your suffering, nor turn away from it indifferently. My comfort is not an escape, but the courage to face your days knowing you are never forsaken. When you cannot trace the outline of my hand, lean into the assurance of my heart. Recall the times you have been sustained unexpectedly, the small mercies that carried you through hours you feared you could not withstand. These are reminders that I am at work in ways beyond your reckoning. My faithfulness is not measured only by what you receive, but also by the unseen protection, wisdom, and peace that surrounds every breath you take. Trust grows not only in abundance, but also in want. Your heart is made resilient, not by the absence of pain, but by the ongoing presence of my love as you walk through each valley. Hold fast to me, not as a last resort, but as your first refuge. My dreams for you are more expansive than those you have dared to consider for yourself. I delight to draw out the goodness within you, nurturing hidden gifts and unexpected joy. Every risk you take in love, every step of forgiveness, every act of courage is celebrated by me. Do not compare the pace of your journey to others. I tend each soul uniquely with attentiveness that never wavers. Your failures, your triumphs, your laughter, and your tears all matter deeply to me. Above all, remember you are cherished without condition. My delight in you is constant, my gaze unwavering. I beckon you to trust, to bring your whole self, flawed, questioning, expectant to me. Nothing you face will erase my promise to remain. Stay close and let your heart learn the rhythms of my faithfulness. In every season, my love anchors you, calling you deeper into the confidence that no shadow, no silence, and no storm can overshadow the light I have given you. Keep your heart open, for I am with you always. I see how your heart yearns for a touch, a word, a clear sign that you are known and cherished beyond doubt. Listen closely, for I am nearer than your breath, present as you open your eyes to each new morning, and present when shadows press close. You have called out to me in moments of hunger and moments of joy, in the silence when worries parade through your mind. I have never turned away from your voice. My gaze does not pass over your needs, nor am I deaf to the silent questions you never dare speak aloud. I hear the tremor in your prayers, the uncertainty and the hope braided together. Trust that I gather even your hesitations into my care. You think sometimes that your flaws or failures build a barrier between us, but nothing you face within yourself, a harsh word spoken, a moment you wish you could reclaim, can outdistance my mercy. My love is not measured by your performance, but pours forth from who I am. My faithfulness never wavers according to your mood or capacity. In your despair and your rejoicing, in your restlessness and your peace, I am constant, unwavering. My grace is lavish, washing over your regrets, awakening you to new possibility with every breath. I am not a distant ruler keeping score or demanding tribute. I am the Father who kneels beside you, who walks the road with you when you are weary or afraid. I enter your loneliness with you. I share in your laughter, your dreams, your simple delights. The world may make you feel invisible or unworthy, but in my eyes, you are precious. Before you spoke a word aloud, I cherished you. Long before your first tears or the scars you carry, I beheld you and called you beloved. My affirmation of you does not rest upon your perfection, but upon my eternal promise, a promise I sealed with my own sacrifice so you could rest secure. When storms gather and noise assaults your spirit, withdraw into the quiet of my presence. There, let your heart beat in tempo with mine. You were made to know me, not just as a concept or a distant force, but as the source of your being, the one who shaped your longing for love and meaning. Every part of your journey, every hope deferred, every wound, every victory becomes the ground where I meet you. Do not hide your fear from me. Bring it into the light, for in the warmth of my embrace, fear loses its sting, and your soul discovers courage unfelt before. I whisper through beauty, the song of the birds at dawn, the laughter of children, the steady rhythm of the ocean's tide. I also speak in the stillness when all lights are dimmed and you are left with your thoughts. Open yourself in these moments and you will find me attentive. I draw close not to judge, but to comfort and to guide. My desire is not to burden you with more rules, but to draw you into living communion with me, a joy that we share, a relationship that deepens without end. Release the false burdens you carry. Worry for tomorrow, regret for the past, the urge to prove your worth. Rest instead in the assurance that you belong. When you stumble, lean into my mercy. When you strive, remember that I am already pleased by your courage to hope. And when you cannot see a way forward, trust that I am working quietly, weaving redemption from even the tangled places of your days. My purposes are often hidden from your sight, but that does not mean you have been abandoned. I am doing new things within you, growing resilience, opening your heart wide, teaching you trust that transcends what you can understand. Nothing delights me more than your honest presence. Come to me in moments of chaos as readily as in moments of calm. Speak openly. I delight in the truth of your heart. Even when words falter or feelings contradict each other, my spirit moves gently within you, whispering hope and strengthening your resolve. There will be days when the world feels too heavy, when questions multiply and answers seem scarce. Then remember my invitation to come, not as a stranger, but as a dear child. In your weakness, I am strong. In your confusion, I offer wisdom. In your longing, I satisfy. Consider the love that called you into being. It is not fragile or fleeting. My care for you goes deeper than the deepest sorrow, higher than your most soaring joy. With me, there is always a path onward. Even in the midnight valleys, new mercies await at every dawn. Take heart, for I go before you and I walk beside you. You are never alone. Not now, not ever. My love will carry you through every season, giving you strength to hope and the freedom to live with an open heart. Receive this gift, for it is yours forever. Beloved, you have journeyed with me through silence and through storm, asking, aching, hopeful. in the darkness and in the glow. I have been near with each breath you have taken, nearer than the blood that courses within your veins. Speaking not only in ancient words, but through the quiet longing you feel when the world hushes around you. There is no moment in which I am absent. I hear you even in those questions you do not voice aloud, those half-formed hopes and the confessions you barely dare to whisper to yourself. I know the weariness that sometimes settles on your shoulders like a weight you cannot name, and I do not condemn you for the heaviness or the wondering. When you turn your gaze toward me, I do not move away. My presence anchors beneath your uncertainty, waiting only for your acknowledgement, not for a perfect faith, but for a simple willingness. You are free to rage, to doubt, to bring your confusion before me. I do not shy from your pain or feel threatened by your sorrow. There is no thought or feeling in you that is too frail or too flawed for me to hold. I ask you only for your honesty, for your real, unfiltered self. Come to me with the brokenness that you fear will estrange you from my love, because that is exactly where I meet you. All the burdens that you attempt to carry alone, your regrets, your guilt, your exhaustion, they are never too much for me. Do not suppose that you must earn my approval or perform some ritual to uncurl my compassion. My love does not tally your failures nor withhold itself until you have achieved a state of faultlessness. You could search the pages of your past, scouring for reasons to justify your welcome in my presence. But the truth is that you are welcome because I have chosen to love you utterly and without reservation since before you drew your first breath. My mercy is not a reward for those with unblemished records. It is my gift freely given. What I long for is relationship with you, a living, honest friendship in which nothing is hidden and nothing is impossible. As you move forward, fixing your eyes on what might be and what you wish could change, remember that I am not merely the observer of your life. I am its author, intimately involved in every unfolding moment. I do not simply wait at the conclusion of your struggles, cheering when you finally arrive. I am in the very midst of every struggle with you, sustaining you quietly, laboring alongside your strivings. When you feel weak or falter beneath expectation, my strength does not waver. I am not disappointed when you struggle. Instead, I gently lift you, reassuring you that my delight in you does not depend upon your unfailing progress, but on my unshakable affection. There will be seasons that test your endurance, times when prayers feel like echoes carried off by the wind and answers seem elusive. In those times, resist the urge to assume that I am far from you. My silence is never abandonment. I sometimes allow you to experience longing so that when my comfort comes, you recognize how deep and real it is. I will never forsake you, not for a moment. Even in your confusion, even when your questions multiply, my arms encircle you. The pain you bear, I share. The hunger for hope that stirs in you, I recognize, for I placed it there and I promise to satisfy it in ways more profound than you can imagine. Bring your longing to me. Let your hope, however fragile, find its rest in my faithfulness. Your story is not finished, and the days ahead hold glimpses of renewal. I am crafting within you a heart that can weather trouble, that knows how to extend grace both to yourself and others. Trust that the work I am doing, sometimes slow, sometimes silent, is never wasted. Even when you do not perceive growth, my spirit is nourishing you in unseen ways. The patience I ask of you is not a dull waiting. but the confident trust of a child in the presence of a loving parent, knowing that even delays are woven with purpose. Let yourself see the world through the eyes of my compassion. As you grow to experience the depths of my love, allow it to overflow into the way you move through each day. The people you encounter, the small and ordinary moments, they matter to me, just as you do. Your kindness, your willingness to forgive, the courage to hope for someone else. These are not small things. This is how you echo my heart in the world, carrying my love beyond words and into tangible acts. You do not do so alone, for I myself am with you, an abiding presence empowering your every effort, working through you even when you feel most inadequate. Nothing you face can separate you from me, not setbacks, nor failures, nor seasons of despair. When you are lost, I am the hand reaching to guide you home. When you are overwhelmed by grief, I am the comfort that surpasses what words can soothe. When you are joyful, celebrate and remember every good gift in your life is a sign of my delight in you. Live your days not anxiously, striving for perfection, but resting in the certainty that you are cherished just as you are, and that I am always at work both for you and in you. So do not be afraid to step forward, even if the way is uncertain. I accompany you into every unknown. Your hope is safe here. Your pain is seen. The journey is not about reaching me, but about walking with me moment by moment, heart open, honest, and unafraid. I hold you close, and in my love, there is no darkness that you and I cannot overcome together. As you close this time, remember the invitations you've heard, to breathe and affirm that you are known, to pause and list a gratitude, to name a burden and release it, to let go of resentment, to reach out in kindness, and to carry the truth I am beloved into your day. These are small acts that invite my presence to shape your life. Come to me as honestly as you are able. Whether your heart is rejoicing or aching, open your day with a few quiet moments in my presence. Share with me your heaviest thought or simplest hope. Reach out to another in kindness as a reflection of my love for you. I am with you now and always. Amen.